Wherever there's an episodic series, you can bet two men will talk to you. AJ Talon and Owen Finch give their thoughts on Owen and AJ Talks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Owen and AJ Talks. I'm Owen Finch, and I'm here with
AJ Talon. Today, we are back once again with YellowJackets. We were just talking about off camera. We're making really good progress this year. We are on Season 3, Episode 8 of YellowJackets. We are almost near the end and almost caught up with the show.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And, you know, unless, like, all the videos from YellowJackets get deleted next year, we won't have to, like, do this all again when Season 4 gets started. We can just...
Oh, look. Skynet takes over. Oh, there we go. I didn't even do a thumbs up.
But I'm happy about this. I'm happy we're going to finally be caught up with the show. I'm really looking forward to it. Like we talked about, though, we're getting towards the end. It seems like things have kind of cooled down ever since the Ben plots kind of wrapped up. You know, it still feels like stuff's happening, but it feels like not much important stuff is happening. It feels like we've kind of had like a little bit of a couple lame duck episodes. But, you know, we've gotten some nice reveals, I think, and things like that. And we've gotten, like, the first sign of hope again that they can go home. Because, obviously, we didn't really get that in Season 2 because they were kind of stuck in the cabin. And then this is, like, the first, like, sign of hope they've gotten of going home. So, and we'll...
Right. Well, something I liked about Season 1 was, again, they had a decent amount of escape attempts. You know, they tried going out to the woods. They had the plane crash. I mean, you know, they had Bible Girl with the plane. So they did make escape attempts, and in Season 2, obviously they couldn't really do that because the winter and the cold.
I'm making a prediction right now. It's going to be a weird prediction, but I think Season 1 will still be my favorite season. Unless they do something like big the next 2 episodes. I think Season 1's still going to be my favorite season, but...
It's tough, because, I mean, this season had 2 of my favorite episodes in all of YellowJackets. So I guess we'll kind of have to see how this plays out. If shit gets really stupid, then yeah, probably Season 1.
Yeah, we'll see though. I'll give my reasons for that as I go along. But let's talk about this episode though. This episode is Season 3, Episode 8, like you said. And it's called A Normal Boring Life. I've always seen this episode title and always wondered what that meant. And we kind of got what that meant in the present. But we'll get to that when we get to it. It was directed by Anya Adams, no wiki, so we can't really say what else she's done before. It was written by Julia Bicknell, and the cinematography was done by Michael Whale. We've talked about him before. And now, AJ, you get to do the fun part. You get to guess the air date.
Yeah, I was trying to math it before. Fuck it. April 5th. 2025.
You are not correct. It's March 30th, 2025, the end of March.
I mean, I was close considering I really just kind of winged it at the top of my head. That's not bad. That's only a week off.
Yeah, and hopefully you get tomorrow's episode right because we're doing this a day apart. So hopefully you remember.
Yeah. If I try to math it, yeah. I mean, honestly, I was probably only off by like a day. Next episode's probably gonna be like April 6th or something.
Yep. But yeah, let's just get right into it. You know, last time you talked about the past and I talked about the present.
Did you say writer, director, all that?
Yeah, I did that in the beginning. That was where Michael Wale and all that stuff came in. So, but yeah, let's get right into it. Now, this thing I'm just going to talk about because even though it's technically the past, I think it was supposed to be like Shauna in the future having this dream, but because it has past Shauna in it, I'm just going to take it because this could also be past Shauna's dream. But the episode...
Yeah, well, dream of Melissa in the past, which kind of implies that, like, Shauna... This was, like, a past Shauna dream.
Yeah, so... yeah, so we get the cold open, and we see they're at a grocery store, and... which is kind of weird, you know, because the present really didn't tie into anything grocery store related in the past. They can't be at a grocery store because they're out in the middle of the woods. So obviously you get the...
Well, again, you know, you never know. Maybe they might have found the little town that Javi always wants to. You know?
That's true. Maybe this was it. He told Shauna about it, and this is what she's been dreaming about.
It makes sense. Shauna was telling, because what happens later is Shauna fucking wants to stay out in the woods, so maybe she is just having a part-time job out in the middle of the woods and not telling anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, they're at a grocery store, and Shauna, is in like a daze. She's working at the grocery store as a cashier, and she just keeps scanning the same item over and over again. And we overhear a familiar voice saying that you've already scanned that one. You really can't scan it again. And Shauna's saying it's easier this way. And we see, Aaron Purnell, Jackie, making a cameo, taking time off from her TV show that she has going on that, I forget. Is it Fallout? I don't think it's Fallout, but is it? Okay. Obviously Shauna's surprised to see Jackie, and Jackie is being very condescending towards Shauna, being like, wow, so this is what you really thought your life was going to turn out to be, huh? You had all of this potential and really couldn't do much with it. And, during all of this, Shauna keeps calling Jackie Shipman, because that was a big thing she did in season 1 when she was alive. And I like that Shauna even tells Jackie, like...
before she was alive or after she was alive.
Yeah.
Again, after she's alive and she's doing it, so, And
Shauna even tells Jackie, like, don't call me that. I hate it when you call me that. And Jackie obviously is shocked, like, well, why didn't you ever tell me to stop? Because... you never told me that. I just kept calling you that. Again, I do like this because obviously this isn't the actual Jackie. It's just inside Shauna's mind. But this is basically Shauna having like a talk with like her inner conscience, as we've talked about before in season 2. So this is pretty cool. And
I like it because it ties into what Melissa said later about how like even before the plane crash, Shauna was just like causing her own problems.
Yeah, I like that.
Because again, it's like flips out like, I don't stop calling me Shipman. I hate being called Shipman. And Jack is like, well, why didn't you say anything?
Yeah.
It's
and we see obviously this is the meat starts changing. It's not regular meat. It's one of the things was there was like a human hand in there and everything like that. And Jackie finally like says, yeah, this is just what your life's turned into. You had all this potential. And this is what it's going to be, and you're really not going to make much of your life. Is this what's going to happen to you? I do kind of like this, because obviously this is a big fear that Shauna has, going back to society, and it kind of sucks watching this, because, we've seen what Shauna's like present day, and for the most part, I would make the argument that her life probably became worse than what it feared, in the most part, because obviously she's kind of in a life that, obviously that she doesn't like, as we've talked about before, so I kind of like that we got this, in the past. Would have been kind of cool, obviously, because we're not really gonna, it doesn't seem like we'll get anything post-immediate, them getting rescued, if this actually was, like, real, minus the Jackie stuff, just because that would have been kind of cool, to see that Shauna really couldn't get over it, but, yeah, overall, I like this little dream sequence. I like it because it has, actually, I wrote in the notes, because you probably can't see the notes, because, because obviously we just watched Star Wars. I wrote, Shauna gets a vision from the dark side of the Force. This is kind of what happens here. She got the vision from the dark side of the Force. And honestly...
imagine she fucking cuts Jackie's head off and then, like, it reveals Shauna's face underneath.
Yeah. Honestly, though, this is kind of funny because the dark side of, like, the vision that Luke gets makes him, like, want to leave. This vision makes kind of Shauna want to stay. So you could have just flipped the two characters. You honestly could have just flipped the two characters and, like, Yoda's scene would have been...
Like, oh, my friends are suffering. Fuck that. I'm staying here.
And then, yeah. So this would have been cool. So,
it's funny too because they both have weird ass trippy caves.
That's right. They do.
Imagine that Luke is like talking to Travis about like his vision, and Travis is like, "Luke, you got fucked up on cave fumes."
He did. But overall, I like this for what it was. I like this because it ties into why Shauna wants to like stay later and everything like that, and it makes a lot of sense why Shauna has these fears. Kind of a weird that she has these fears because again we see it in the present, like we don't really get to see anyone else's like fears. It's only weird we get to see Shauna's because obviously we see it in the present. But I like this. It makes it doubly great because obviously we know this ends up being what happens with Shauna for the most part. So it's kind of cool that she had these fears and they materialized. What do you think of this little dream sequence?
I liked it. Yeah, like you said, I think it works better because we know this is what Shauna's life is going to be like for the next 25 years. And like the whole seeing Jackie and being haunted by Jackie is not going to go away.
Yep.
Well, because they, again, also ties in. I think this whole sequence is good at tying into the rest of the episode. Where Taissa mentions that like what we did out here is going to follow us for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sure enough, it's basically like, yeah, when Shauna gets back, it's not like she's ever really going to be back, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So then we have the rest of the episode. I'll probably just talk about most of Travis and Cody's little adventure they go on, since it's kind of, at least in the beginning, pretty disconnected to what happens.
Guys,
huh?
I said guys' night.
Yeah, well, not completely, because Casco #1 is there. So
she's half a bro.
Yeah.
Fucking. I said them like, why'd you guys leave without us? And they were just like, fucking got a night out with the boys.
I know Travis doesn't get a lot of Travis doesn't get a lot of those. So
and the last guy out there, fucking, they ate him. They still haven't. Remember, this is only a couple hours later. They're still fucking gonna shit him out later.
I do like if that was the whole reason that he voted for Ben to live, so that way he could have like a guys' night, like not because they thought Ben was
a little fucked up. A little bit later, we're gonna see Misty going behind a bush to take a shit. That was the last scene we got of Ben.
Yeah, so does that count as, we never saw the shit though? So does that count?
The Ben cameo.
Does that count as a Ben cameo? We never saw it though. So
I'll take what I can get, Owen.
Yeah, because that it might be weirdly enough, that's probably the last Ben like appearance. Weirdly enough, so
yeah, pile of shit. It's like, we'll miss you, buddy.
Yeah. So Travis, Casco #1, and Cody start making their way back to civilization. This was pretty interesting because obviously you would have thought they would have gone back to like the camp and everything like that. But you pointed this out. It should have taken them less longer to get back than Hannah and everybody else, since it seemed like Travis was and Casco were closer to the camp. So, but that's not the case. They're gonna go back and get help, and this actually makes a lot of sense why Travis wants to do this, because Travis is thinking, they can just get like a smaller team, and then they can like tell them where they are, so that way they can find rescue and everything like that.
Sorry, finish your thought.
But you get kind of the sense that's probably not what his plan is, because when Casco #1 kind of brings out like, hey, I thought we would try to get back, all together. Like we went through hell out here. We should try to get back together. And then she like mentions like this is kind of going against the wilderness's vision. And Travis kind of has like a moment where he has a moment of realization, a speech where he mentions, look, like everything that happens out here like doesn't matter. Like he kind of admits that he was BSing. When he said that he had that vision about Casco #1 having these visions, all you had was just a fucked up dream in a fucked up cave, inhaling fumes. What matters is
girl, you are seeing the dark side, okay?
And then he says like, this guy can get us home, and that's all that matters. So it seemed like Travis, honestly he actually showed some emotion, and he actually expressed his feelings, where he says he saw that he saw a moment that he could finally get home, get away from all this, and he took the opportunity. The second he got it, he didn't go back and tell anybody, and I kind of commend him for that. And I understand his thinking. Before the wilderness and any of that stuff, he didn't really have much of a connection to these girls. He kind of sees a way out. And I don't know if, like, seeing this guy brought Travis back to the way he used to think, and sees that he can finally get away from all this stuff and get away from this crazy hallucinations and all that type of stuff. Because obviously it's going to be weird if all of a sudden now he tries to buy it, saying, like, I was just faking and I was just, like, in the moment. There's no way that Travis didn't buy into this wilderness stuff, no matter what he says, because there's moments in the show where he's clearly bought in. Maybe he just got so lost in it that, like, it messed up his brain, and then he finally saw like a sign of hope, so that like, you know, snapped him out of it. But he can't say that he didn't buy it or anything like that, because that's gonna be a little suspicious. But you know, I do like this though for the most part. Doing all this though, Recasco #1 like takes off like one of her little pigtails and like ties it to a tree, so that way the group will be able to find him. And as we'll get into, there's more to this, because doing all this before all this happened, Misty finally recovered, and I don't know what happened to her, because she didn't get knocked out or anything like that. Maybe like because it was like nighttime when she got like knocked to the ground. I don't know if she just stayed there and then like just waited till the morning to get up, but she gets her glass.
Yeah, this is weird. If you remember last video, I even said like, "Oh yeah, Misty like lost her glasses and found them again." I like forgot she didn't actually find her glasses at the end of the last episode. I thought it was just like a very quick thing. But no, yeah, here we are like the next morning, hours later, and Misty's still looking for her fucking glasses. I was like, "Oh wait, what?"
But dedication, I would have given up a long time ago. I mean, I think she needs her glasses. That probably a little bit more than I do.
Like, I'll just lay here and die. Well, maybe that's what she did. Maybe she just kind of did give up. She's like, "Fuck, I'm gonna die here," you know.
Yeah, but no, she gets her glasses back, and Misty like sees the pigtail that Recasco #1 left, and you know, just kind of goes off screen, and obviously we'll come back to her later. Overall, I enjoyed this. I liked that Travis actually gave his showed some emotion and said his feelings and everything like that. I totally buy that Travis would finally want to get away from these people, because I mean, now that he has an option to get out of there, I'm glad that he took it. Is he still my least favorite character of the show? I don't know, actually, because Lottie kind of might overtake this after the last couple episodes, but you know, but what'd you think of all this? I liked it for the most part.
I'll give my thoughts after a little bit once we get back to camp, you know, because then I can kind of give my more complete thoughts on Travis's like POV, because I've had a beef with Travis for quite a bit.
Yes.
So I want to give my thoughts on that once we kind of get a little further in.
So then back at camp, we get this from Hannah's point of view. All the cast of YellowJackets with a couple of background characters that we didn't see before. The one I mentioned, and then there's another one that I noticed this episode. I'm like, wait, we haven't seen this guy. We haven't seen this girl before. Where the hell has she been? I like to think that I think we made this joke before, but I'm just gonna say it again. They're just all at this town that Harvey's gone to, and he's just brought these people like back, and they've just like stayed there because they didn't know how to get back. That'd be funny.
It's like, oh, our friend Harvey was out here. We weren't looking for him.
But yeah, they're obviously asking questions about like what has gone on in society. A lot of it's like about like, are they still looking for us? Obviously, they had like a joke where Van asked a question about like two celebrities and whether they got together, which was obviously
I do. Well, obviously, I didn't quite get the reference because I'm guessing that's like more of like a '90s thing.
Yeah.
But we already saw that Van's like a big like movie and like pop culture fan, so like it makes sense that like, yeah, she's like interested in what was going on with that.
I mean, present day Van forgot all about that in season 3 apparently. So
yeah.
Well, maybe not about being
right. Remember, she had a fucking whole store and a whole life. She just kind of like forgot about.
I guess the store just went under off camera. So
I guess. Well, you know, if an entire cult can go under in like a day, and Tice's entire political career can go out in like a day, I guess movie store is not a surprise.
Yeah, but it seems like it takes a while to find out who murdered Lottie, apparently. They can't do all that in a day, so that takes a while. But you know, doing all this, Hannah doesn't even know who these people are, and then Natalie mentions, you know, that they're on a soccer team and their plane crashed. And Hannah even says, like, she remembers, like, this was on the news a while back. And Shauna's obviously aggressively pressing her for information, asking, like, well, who's looking for us? And she doesn't really, like, answer. She's like, I'm really not sure. Like, they searched for, like, months. And she never really says, like, anything more. Like, Shauna asks, are they looking for us now? And obviously, because Hannah's, like, so disconnected from the situation, she's like, I don't know, maybe. And Shauna just kind of...
Right, well, you know, for her, you know, imagine, like, our POV, it's like, you know, you see something on the news, but, like, you know, you don't really follow up on it. Like, it's just like, oh, that's crazy, that's going on.
Yeah.
You know? like, so Hannah's just like, I don't know, guys. Like, I'm sorry. And like, this was just on the news a couple months ago. Like, I don't know really what the situation is.
I guess to give an example I have of it is, obviously it's going to show how much, like obviously on the news, the government shut down like a few weeks ago. And obviously I heard about it, but then we didn't watch the news, I think, for like a week or so. And I didn't even know the government like was not shut down anymore, like for like a couple weeks. Because again, I wasn't watching the news. And
yeah, that happened. So like, and I do like. So Sean is just so fucking aggressive here, like you said, where she's like, "Oh, so what? All of our friends and family abandon us," and then a little bit later, she like is like being personal with Hannah, where she's like, "Since you all abandoned us out here and left us to die," I'm like, Shauna, she's not connected to this like at all.
But I like,
and she's like blaming Hannah for like abandoning them.
But I do like this because it makes sense in Shauna's character because she's been lashing out at like everybody, so it makes sense that she would come to that conclusion. But yeah, obviously Hannah, a complete outsider for the most part to all of this. Shauna basically like took that and obviously made it personal and everything like that. And
when Van, so I'm kind of surprised. So like when Hannah says like they searched for you guys for months, Van is like, "Oh my god, we've been out here a long time." I'm like, "Well, what do you mean? You already knew it's been like a year."
Yeah, they had to have known that. So
well, like I kind of Hannah was more specific.
Yeah, I do.
Hannah to say search for months shouldn't be like "Oh my god, we've been out here this long." Like it's kind of a small thing. It's just like Van making a comment. But like I feel like what Hannah said didn't warrant her being like, "Oh my god, we've been out here this long."
Especially too because winter and like winter's about to come again. Like you've already been through winter.
Right. Like a year and a half.
Yeah. But because of how aggressive Sean is being, Hannah thinks Sean is like the team leader and everything like that. And Shauna says, "No, I'm not the team leader." She's kind of being smoky and says like that, and she looks at Natalie, and Natalie says, "None of us are the team leader because our team leader fucking died." And obviously, Natalie took that to clap back at Shauna because obviously Shauna kept thinking she was the leader, and like Natalie's kind of starting to come back to reality and be like, "No, like our leader died," and all that type of stuff. Good clap back by Natalie. You gotta respect it,
Yeah, because that's like kind of on Shauna. I do like that Natalie kind of made that personal. Especially, Shauna's being fucking vicious to Natalie lately. So yeah, I do like where Natalie's like, "Okay, yeah, well Jackie's dead, and it's kind of your fault, bitch."
Yeah, and obviously they keep pressing Hannah, wondering if they can get us back to civilization. Because obviously, if she got out there, she would obviously be able to go back. But Hannah says like, "No, I can't." But I can't do it on my own. And at one point, Shauna even like mentions like, who made you leader? And Natalie, I love, puts her foot down and said like, "Fuck leaders. This is our chance for fucking rescue. Like we're not gonna."
Exactly. Like Natalie was speaking for me this episode, where she's like, "None of this shit matters. The most important thing is getting the fuck out of here."
I wanted to mention this off camera, but it's best because Natalie is like the realistic one. Do you think her killing Ben like brought some of like Ben's essence and put it like right into like?
Ben is like, "I give to you my common sense, Natalie. Take it."
There has to be a reference to some show where like she took like his like biggest strength like by killing him and all that type of stuff.
It's eat his heart, gain his courage.
Oh really? Is that? Oh really?
Well, that's like a saying, like eat his heart, gain his courage. Maybe Natalie literally ate his heart.
Well, yeah, maybe she saved the heart for herself, type of thing. So,
yeah. Maybe what Mike said, just because you shot Jesse James doesn't make you Jesse James.
That's true.
Maybe Natalie killing Ben did actually make her Ben.
Yeah. Didn't Travis eat Harvey's heart at the end of season 2? So what would Travis gain from eating Harvey's heart? Cause...
not speaking and disappearing for entire episodes at a time.
He got the not speaking part down because he didn't speak during the. Remember, he didn't speak the whole.
While he actually fucking said anything.
Remember, like the name of the episode of where Ben has his trial was like 12 angry women and a drunk Travis, and I'm like, wait, like he's in the title, but he doesn't speak at all, like in that episode.
Once at the very end of the episode.
So, and he does a lot of disappearing. He disappeared from the group in this episode for a little bit. So
Yeah. I do, like you said, I like how, again, Shauna, because she's lashing out at everybody, is like super aggressive with Hannah. And then, but Natalie, like you said, is pretty realistic. She's trying to be calm and reasonable. Like when everybody's like bombarding her with questions, she's like, "All right, everybody, shut up."
yeah,
And she's like, when Hannah kind of gives the bad news of like, they searched for months, but like, I don't know what the current situation is. Like, I don't know if they're still looking for you. Everyone's pretty distraught. Because, well, I think they all kind of knew deep down that like the search was like called off because it's been so long. But I think actually hearing it, or like not, it's like kind of getting soft confirmation of that is like pretty disheartening. But Natalie kind of just up with like, okay, can you get us out of here? Or like, how did you get here? Like, who are you guys? Like, she's kind of keeping the questions like on topic.
Yeah. And then Misty shows back up and mentions like she thinks they can find like Cody and like Travis and everyone kind of like gets a search party going and a couple people stay behind to watch over Hannah. I think it's like Thaisa and probably somebody else. And
I think it's just.
Well, that wasn't very smart, knowing she could break into like a split personality in any second. But
yeah, I know, right? They get back and Thaisa fucking freed her.
Yeah, and she
because also Lottie stayed behind because Shauna said like, "Hey, Thaisa, like look after her too."
Yeah, and doing all this, we Casco number one, stopped because she had something in her foot.
What
did I forget?
When everybody's like getting ready to leave and go find Cody, Travis, and Brie Girl, Lottie like gets up and is like, "No, guys, like, because Natalie's like, guys, we can finally go home," and Lottie's like, "No, like we can't go back."
Oh, I thought this was later. Like,
obviously that happens later, but this is like a setup for that.
Oh, but no, I thought this was later when like they were gonna like when Cody came back. I thought that.
My bad.
But then we Casco number one gets like something stuck in her shoe, so she's trying to fix it. But obviously you could tell she's like looking around trying to find everybody. She's trying to obviously like delay Cody and Travis long enough so that way the others can catch up to them, which makes a lot of sense. Because obviously they got a head start, so obviously you got to delay it as much as you can.
I don't understand Recast Girl's thought process here.
I know.
Like, I'm a Travis of like, let's get the fuck out of here, and then we can send help. I'm like, Recast Girl, you literally ruined your chances of getting the fuck out of here.
I don't understand it either. I guess maybe she wanted them all to go together, but like, and I guess Travis gave her... Yeah, but I guess Travis gave her the vibe like he was not gonna like send rescue like for the others with the way he was talking, I guess. But
yeah, like I kind of figured, Travis is like, it's not that he wasn't gonna do it. That's just that like it wasn't really his like first priority.
Yeah, but I don't understand her motives here either. But yeah, then the others catch up to him. And again, like you said, this motive backfired on Recasco because this was like probably her only chance and Travis's only chance of getting rescued, as we'll talk about at the end.
Hey, listen, Recast Girl is one of the only people we don't know is alive present day. So if she dies out here, I'm gonna fucking laugh.
Me too.
I fucking loser.
You had a chance to get rescued and you didn't take it.
But yourself to blame.
Yeah, because the only ones that want to stay at the end live to the present. So, like, if Recasco number one like doesn't live, that's gonna be pretty funny now. Obviously you don't get the notion that they're gonna make it right away. We hear like foot stomps, and Recasco then takes Cody's crossbow and starts pointing it at them, and like Travis is trying to reason with them, and then they find him, and obviously Sean even says like, "You're coming back to camp with us now," because again they didn't really know what was going on here. So and Travis plays along and points his gun at Cody and says like, "Yeah, you heard them, go back." Obviously he's trying to play along because he's seen what these girls can do when like you cross them and everything like that. He doesn't want to be a part of that, so he's just trying to play along and stay a part of the group and everything like that, which I can't really blame him for. And obviously off screen, we see that they've tied Cody up to, I guess the plane. It looked like the train. It looked like the seats from the plane crash because it was like leather seats and looked like a seat you would wear like on a plane and everything like that. So, Natalie and everyone is questioning Travis about like what the hell he was doing, trying to go off on his own, and Travis obviously is bullshitting here, being like, look, well, I feel like he's not completely bullshitting. He's like 70-30 here, where he says like, I thought, we could just go back and like get rescue.
And tries to like not get recast girl in trouble because at first he's like, oh, we thought, and he kind of looks at her, he's like, I thought.
Yeah. And I like that recast girl kind of sticks up for Travis a little bit, where she mentions like, she's like, we thought like, if you caught up to us, we would leave a trail so you could like find us easier. Because obviously Travis didn't even like know she was even leaving a trail to begin with.
Yeah, because Travis's reasoning was, we thought, getting out of here, or, like I said, he corrects himself and says, I thought, moving in a smaller group to get rescue would be better. And then, somebody asks, like, well, why did you leave a trail? And I like how Travis, like, looks at Recast Girl, because, like, I don't even think he knew that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
And he says, like, we, left a trail so you guys could, figure out which way we were going. And then, if he, like, turned on us or if you needed to meet up with us later.
And then Natalie.
So wait, sorry. At that point, I want to give my thoughts on Travis.
Oh yeah, sure. I guess I'll go first. I guess I'll go first. Overall, I kind of like how Travis was acting here. I can understand why he was trying to save himself a little bit, knowing that these girls will stop at nothing to take out someone who goes against the group. And I do like that Travis didn't get Recast Girl in trouble, and I like that Recast Girl like stood up for Travis, even though like they were kind of at a little bit of disagreement there and everything like that. And again, I just like Travis's motives to try to get home, like just get the fuck out of there when he had the chance. I truly think he was gonna send like actual like rescue afterwards and everything like that. I just think he just wanted to get the fuck out of there, and it kind of makes sense because he doesn't really know like how many people can fit, and he knows the woods, so it for the most part, since I think he still hunts. I'm not really sure on that, but I think he still hunts for the most part. But he's at least hunted, so he probably knows like roughly where to send them and everything like that. He knows roughly where to go. So I get Travis's motives here. But what did you think of all this?
Yeah, so like I said, I've had beef with Travis for a while. I think he makes fucking stupid ass choices, and especially lately where we have not really gotten his thoughts on like anything. Like, the craziest shit will be happening, and he will not give a fuck. Mm-hmm. But yeah, finally we get to see him, like, making some understandable choices. And, and then just, like, getting his thoughts and everything. He sees a chance at rescue. He's like, okay, cool, let's take it. And, yeah, like you said, I think he was, like, being honest of, like, yeah, we'll, like, send help after. But I think that was more of an afterthought. His just, like, main priority was, like, here's our chance to rescue. Like, I'm grabbing it and hanging on for dear life.
Exactly.
And, like you said, I think it also helps that, like, he's not part of the team. He doesn't really know any of these girls, like, that well. My really only issue with him, like, deciding to go with just Recast Girl was that, like, his relationship with Natalie. Like, it's kind of fucked up. He's just leaving his girlfriend behind. But, like I said, I think he's being honest that, like, okay, we'll just send help after. And, well, the thing is, in the relationship in the past, the relationship sucks ass. So, like, I can buy that Travis doesn't really give a shit about Natalie. Like, really?
I don't even think they're thin right now in the past, right? Really, they're not really on screen that much together. Like, either.
Well, yeah, they're not on screen, but like, I'm pretty sure they are still dating.
I don't know. We haven't heard anything about it, so.
But the thing is because Natalie was so obsessed with Travis in the present, and they apparently had like an on again off again thing for like decades. I find it hard to believe that like he just was like, oh, see Natalie.
Yeah, that's weird.
But again, if we're just going off of just the past, like yeah, sure, I could buy it. But yeah, I like that we get his thoughts. Like I think it's kind of bullshit that he's like doesn't believe. Again, it really feels like the writers forgot what Natalie said in season 1 when they made Travis like seem super into all the Forcey shit. And now he's like, oh, well, I never believed fucking, all that stuff before. No, all bullshit.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, again, I do like he's being pragmatic. He's seen a chance to get out of there and he's taking it. I don't think it's particular. It's like what I said about Cody last episode. Like, I like that he's not being like a dick about it, but he's just kind of looking out for number one. Like, that's, even if you don't agree with it, you can at least like respect the mentality, like I get why they're like doing that.
Yeah.
Like he's not being malicious. He's just like trying to save himself and then kind of go from there. But yeah. And then I do like that moment where when everybody surrounds them, Travis kind of has that look at Cody of like, fuck. And then he has to be like, yeah, all right, Cody, get moving. Like he really wants to just keep going, but like he can't really like defend Cody there because he's trying to just, because he knows what'll happen if he kind of goes against the YellowJackets here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then later on when they're all having that disagreement, Travis doesn't really say much, but he does have that one moment where he's like, okay, because everyone's like, I got a bad feeling about this. And he's like, okay, the only bad thing would be staying here and ignoring rescue. It was only one line, but like that really shows his mentality of like, fuck all this other shit. Priority number one, get the fuck out of here.
Which is like what you and I would be saying in this instance also. Like,
so crazy, because season 3 has been like taking all the shit that I've really not liked in the previous seasons and kind of addressing it. Remember, Mari was my number one most hated bitch from season 2, and like immediately they were like, okay, I actually kind of like Mari now. And then it was like, fuck, I guess Travis is my least favorite character. And then this episode was actually like doing some good with him. I'm like, oh shit, okay, that's good job, YellowJackets.
Is he out of the in the figurative sense? Is he out of the woods yet? Or is he still like your least favorite?
Much like this episode, he was almost out of the woods. So what he does, if next episode he ambushes him like the YellowJackets, or if they actually get rescued, we'll see, Travis. We'll see. I got my eye on you.
How's Molly doing? You said you've had your eyes on her. Is she doing okay?
You haven't heard shit from Mari in a while.
Yeah, but anyhow, so continuing, kind of after this happens, they kind of get away from this, and Natalie kind of puts the focus back, like kind of realizing that Cody can get them out of there. Like says, like, hey, like, can you get us to the rescue point? And Cody says, yeah, I can get to it. And I like that Cody here, he's not being a dick, but he says, like, if you can keep up with me, because obviously this makes sense for Cody's character, where he says that, because obviously he was kind of acting this way towards Hannah, so I kind of like that he kept that with the YellowJackets cast type of thing.
Yeah, I also do like, because obviously before when they were questioning Hannah was obviously like all panicky and like shaking. Whereas, Cody here seems pretty calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, me too. And Cody
said... I forgot about it, but like when they all ambushed him, he tried to like bullshit. Or he was like, oh, please, you're not going to capture me because we got way more people out here besides just the 3 of us. And then obviously Van called it out. I was like, nope, we saw your camp. You only have 3 sleeping bags. We know it's just you.
Yeah, that sucked for him. And then Cody says that it takes 6 days. It's a 6-day hike to get out of there. And obviously, like, Natty's like, okay, cool. And they come up with a game plan. They're going to get some stuff packed. They're going to have water carriers. And I like this. It's like a good sense of a moment where, like, they finally have this moment where we can get out of there. And, Natalie tells Molly to untie Cody and Hannah. And, so that way they can bury dead meat. And Lottie then says, look, we can't go back. Like, we don't belong there anymore, like, before they can get ready. And Natalie pretty much just tells...
Kind of a funny thing. They were, like, questioning Hannah, and Hannah just looked over, and dead meat still fucking sprawled out there, fucking face down.
Yeah, like that. And Natalie even, like, says, like, oh, come on, Lottie, this is a chance to get rescued. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? We don't belong there anymore. So I like that Natalie kind of, like, put down Lottie there and everything like that. But again, this was foreshadowing about what was going to happen at the end of the past and everything like that. So, and then you have this nice montage where, the YellowJackets have, like, a sense of hope of going home. So they're kind of having some nice daydreams about, like, what they can do now once they get back. Like when Cody and Hannah, Barry and Dead meet. Molly has a vision of her drinking a Slurpee. Not a Slurpee. Is it a slushy? I think it's a slushy. Not a Slurpee.
Yes.
And Misty's taking a shit. Again with Ben, because we got Ben that was Ben this episode. Last image of Ben. Instead of using leaves, she sees toilet paper. And then Van's obviously picturing like her making like snow angels like in the sleeping bag. She's picturing her being like a full-on like bed. I'm pretty sure too it looked like the same bed they used like when Van and Taissa in the present were like staying in that like fancy like hotel, which is
catch. That's a nice catch.
So I don't think they actually had that actress like go there and like film that scene like there, but it looked they probably just used the same sheets and like she just did it somewhere else. Yeah. And of course I do kind of like this where like Van's having this really daydream and then Taissa kind of brings her back down to earth, which kind of sucks to be her. And Taissa says like, "Hey Van, like, do you think it's like really a good idea to go back because Because I forgot to mention this earlier, where Misty was questioning, like, what do we do with, like, Cody and Hannah? Because they obviously saw a lot of things. And,
I do like Cody. Hey, I didn't see shit.
Well, I don't really think Cody did either. Like, he saw the head, but, like, Well,
I mean, he definitely saw dead meat become dead meat.
That's true. And then Hannah says, like, look, I didn't see anything either. Obviously, the YellowJackets are questioning whether or not they can take the word for it, because, again, they don't really know them all that well. And knowing that how much Hannah, like, was terrified and stuff like that, I can...
It is a valid fear of, like, as soon as they get back, there's really nothing stopping them from just being, these guys are fucking nuts.
Yeah. I don't think Cody's going to say anything, and Hannah... 50-50,
I mean, to be fair, that was her boyfriend that they murdered and they forced Hannah to bury. So, like, I can see Hannah being like, fuck these guys.
Yeah. And Taissa even mentions this, where she says, like, look, like, did you ever, like, think what we're going to have to say to people, like, when we get back? Like, the lies we're going to have to tell, like, mentioning, like, killing Harvey, mentioning, what happened with Jackie. I do like, though, like, this is one thing I'm happy about. The mentioning, like, Ben, but they won't, like, mention him. It's kind of like, they'll start to mention him, but because it's so drastic and everything like that, they won't really mention it, which...
Yeah, because that's, like, the freshest on their minds. Like, it only just happened. Whereas, Jackie and Javi was, like, a while ago. And also, Jackie and Javi was more, like, indirect.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I do like when Taissa started making those points of, like, all the people who died because of us, and, like, we're all gonna have to tell lies for the rest of our lives. This is gonna follow us forever, and, like, we're all gonna have to be on the same page. And if, like, one of us, like, slips up, like, it's over for all of us.
Yep.
Because before that, Taissa was making a terrible point because she started off the conversation with, like, hey, when we get back, are we still gonna be together? Because, like, a lot has happened out here, but not much time has passed back in the real world, Like, I'm sure a lot of things haven't changed. Obviously implying that, like, people are going to give him shit for being gay. And at that point, I was like, who the fuck cares? After all this shit, like, I would not give a fuck what other people think about you being gay.
That was clearly a thing where the YellowJackets writers wanted you to put us, like, in that mindset, being in 1997, like, okay, this is still a big thing in 1997, but it's like, who cares? Like, if you have a chance to go home and that's keeping you from going home, then, like, just go the fuck home.
But again, we started talking about, like, all the shit that happened out there, and, like, how if one person slips up on a lie, it could, like, fuck everything up. Like, that I understand. But when she started the conversation off with, like, hey, listen, being gay is bad, like, we should be out in the fucking woods. She was losing me on that part.
Me too. I was gonna get to that, but I was a little annoyed by this scene because, like, in the trailer, it looks like she has this conversation with Shauna, and then she had it with Van. I'm like, oh, of fucking course she had it with Van. They can't stay away from each other on screen, so of course it's with Van. But again, I like this conversation.
This conversation will hit a little harder if Van and Taissa weren't inseparable in the present. You know, like the flashback with Shauna at like the supermarket. I feel like that hits hard because she hates her boring life. Taissa and Van were broken up for a long time, and like Taissa even got married. But like the show kind of forgot about that. So when Taissa is like worried that her and Van are gonna like not be able to be together when they get back to society, that would have hit harder if they like stayed broken up.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
But because we know that like they broke up for a little bit and then they immediately got back to fucking each other, it's like, okay, that doesn't really mean much.
Not at all.
Well, you know, the weird thing is they were broken up for a long time because remember Taissa mentioned she was dating a bunch of girls in college.
Yes.
So like they were broken up for like 20 years. But like the show treats it like they were fucking right back, you know, like they never fucking were broken up for that long.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It seemed like season 2 really fucked shit up for season 1, so season 3 is like having to cover the tracks when it comes to that and all that.
Right. Yeah, I have a hard time believing that they were broken up for that long.
Yeah. And Van even says like, look, fuck everything you just said. We have a chance to finally get rescued and go back to society, and I'm gonna take it. And I like this. I even like that, you know, Van even mentions like she doesn't really care about like the lesbian stuff and everything like that, because I have a feeling like plane crash, I don't really think Van gave a shit. I think it was more so Taissa than Van.
Yeah, the vibe I got that like Van was only keeping it a secret because like Taissa was insecure about it.
And I'm gonna guess that like once they honestly, Van has more of a reason to like want to stay than Taissa, because like and you know, because Taissa it's probably just gonna like not really reference the relationship much because of that fear where Van really won't give a shit. And I'm not saying that Van should want to stay, but I'm saying like you know, the fact that Van's willing to put that aside,
more of a reason to stay. Yeah, I agree.
And Van's not taking it. She's like, fuck it, I'm going back. Because again, Van has a pretty shitty life, as we saw going back. I don't know if you remember, like her mom was like an alcoholic, and everything like that. So I think she has a shittier life than Taissa and everything like that.
Yeah. I also like it because, you know, obviously they've like Van has had really heartbreaking lines about going back. Like when they first saw the scientists, Van's first thought was like, oh my God, we can finally go home. And obviously when they found the camp and they saw the phone was broken, you know, Van was like, I'm going to call my mom. And then, you know, the whole thing about like, we're not okay. Like the only way we're going to be okay is if we are able to get out of here.
Yeah. And
so being really consistent with that. The actress is doing a good job too.
Yeah, I think so.
Like that, I just love how Tice is bringing up all these stupid ass points, and Van is like, okay, cool. Counterpoint: getting the fuck out of here is like the most important thing. That outweighs everything else.
I think that's pretty good.
So I do like that Van isn't dismissing it, because the way I'm doing it is dismissing it. Van is like, you know, basically saying like, okay, your points are valid, but we can worry about all that later. Like getting out of here is like the number one thing. Everything else comes after.
Yeah. I assume that, you know, obviously because we're only getting 4 seasons. If we got 5, I assume a big thing that would have happened if we could have gotten the season that they wanted is they get rescued, and then like the end of the actual like past would have been like them sitting down, the survivors sitting down and deciding like what to do now that they've been rescued and how to keep all the secrets and everything like that.
Okay. I do agree that it's probably something you should talk about beforehand. I mean, okay, so they have 6 days of walking, you know? So I'm like, okay, just talk about it on the way.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, I understand it, you know, like you would all probably go to prison. So, you know, going from the woods to the prison, it's not much of an improvement. It's an improvement, but it's not much of an improvement. So I understand kind of having to like be on the same page about this. But like, again, that's something you could do on the way. You got 6 days to talk.
So then, after this conversation, when Van tells Taissa to go pack a bag, she looks over, and then we see the man with no eyes, like right next to Taissa, showing that like something triggered in Taissa when Van said that.
Yeah, and I smiling evilly, so I'm like, okay, something's going on with her.
Yeah. Then Shauna and Melissa like pack it and everything like that. Melissa's kind of being very distant and silent with Shauna, And Shauna's like wants to know what the hell's going on with Melissa. And Melissa's upset with Shauna, and I like the fact that she brought this up where she mentions that I got shot with an arrow and you act like you didn't even care. You just immediately fucked off and like went to get the other guy and didn't even come back and gave a shit about me. And Shauna obviously is bullshitting where she like mentions like, look, I told Molly and Jen to take care of you. If I truly didn't think you were gonna make it, I would have stayed. And she mentions like I was going after to try to get the guy that like shot you with an arrow. And obviously Melissa isn't buying this originally. But then Shauna's kind of able to like flip it and like mention like if I really thought that like there was anything wrong with you, I would have like stayed. And I'm gonna and she even says here like no matter what happens, I'm still gonna like kill Cody for like shooting you to kind of show that Shauna actually does care about Melissa, which obviously we know is kind of bullshit. And then Melissa obviously kind of like smiles and forgives her. And then she kind of goes on this like big tirade about all the things that she's gonna.
Like how Melissa wasn't wearing her hat, and then like Shauna like gave her hat to her, and she like put it on.
Yep, I like that.
That's like her defining thing. She's backwards cap girl. Because literally present day, I would not recognize her if she wasn't still wearing a fucking backwards cap.
I really wish they flipped it. Where like we'll talk about it in the scene, but like she was wearing the hat frontwards, and then like when she obviously noticed something was up, she like flipped it back to like really show that was like oh whatever.
Yeah, like platypus, Perry the platypus.
Yeah.
Fuck. I was just thinking like okay, so we saw them walk into the same like hut together, like after they cut Ben's heel. But we saw them like packing their clothes together, like in the same hut. So this was like showing that they were like living together.
Yep.
And I'm like, do you think Shauna makes fucking Melissa wear that hat when they're in bed together?
I think so.
Yeah. Like you have to keep the hat on. Like that's the only way this works.
I guess we should talk about it because obviously we find out Melissa did say before this that she never really had feelings for Shauna. I don't know if I really buy that or not because in the past she's kind of shown she has feelings.
I buy it. Well, the idea is that like she thought she was in love with Shauna because like of all the trauma.
I guess so. That could make sense. Yeah, Melissa's just going on this big tirade about like all the things that she could do once they get back to society. But we see Shauna staring off into the distance, and I don't think the moth was actually there. I think Shauna just thought it was there, and it clearly wasn't actually there because we got some terrible. Again, the YellowJackets writers again are back at it with their terrible CGI. So it obviously really wasn't there.
Yeah.
At least they kept it small though. It was just an insect versus like wolves and all that type of stuff.
Right. There.
And obviously we get that vision again of because I forgot to mention this at the end of the daydream. Shauna like saw all the moss like going towards the light and everything like that, showing that this is Shauna in the past having this view.
Well, I like that because in the dream, Jackie said like, "Oh, those things are like attracted to the light, but they can't handle it or something." I think the idea is that like the light is like going back home, and like Shauna basically like is like one of those bugs where she's drawn to it, but she can't handle it.
I agree. And then a little bit late, what do you think of this scene though between Melissa and Shauna? I thought it was pretty solid.
I definitely think it's like Shauna manipulating Melissa. But I think it does a good job of like making you think that maybe Shauna does actually care about her. But like, obviously, I don't. And yeah, I do like once Melissa backwards cap girl. Sorry, I who's Melissa? It's obviously backwards cap girl.
Yep.
Once backwards cap girl is like, she says like, so what do you want to do when you get back? Shauna's like, huh? Like it's like Shauna can't even like think about something to look forward to.
Yeah, because she really doesn't have anything. So.
Yeah. I do like, backwards cap girl. She's like rambling about like a lot of boring shit. She's like, I want to go to college and then like work a 9 to 5, and like, I don't even care if it's boring. I just want to do that. Like she's getting all excited about like really mundane shit.
And I do like that because then she mentions in the present that she actually got to like
life and she's like happy with that.
Yeah. Then this is sad. So well, Ben did go too, but Natalie goes to the plane, where that got crashed and everything, and she has Ben's coach bag, and
The plane, as opposed to the plane right next to it that like didn't crash.
yeah, but Ben, she puts Ben's coach bag, on one of the seats, and this is really sad. Natalie says like, "Goodbye, coach. Like, I really wish you made it to this moment. I really wanted you to." Really sad. Because again, we talked about this off camera. Ben literally missed this moment by like a few hours, which is what really sucks about it. And Ben would have loved this moment, I think, and he really deserved. He's really the only one that like really deserved this moment. Like, I guess Natalie deserves it, but he's the one that like truly deserved it with all the shit that he had to go through and like all the shit that he went through plane crash. It really sucks that he didn't make it because him making it to this moment. No, obviously we would have to talk about how the fuck he would he be able to even like go to the fucking place because like his heel would have been like cut, and like he's got one leg, so they would have to obviously carry him and stuff. But yeah, it's really
A thing of just like leave some people, like leave him behind and like send people to go get him after.
Yeah, but it really sucks that he didn't make it to this moment. He really deserved it. I'm glad we got something post Ben's death because we didn't really get much last episode. It feels like this is going to be like the end of it. I would obviously like more because again, the more we talk about Ben, it would be nice. But I feel like this is going to be like the end of the Ben arc of the show. And then at the end, obviously, if you remember, in the episode of the baby shower, Natalie put Jackie's body to rest, and she thought she saw that moose and everything like that. She kind of has a similar vision here where the plane starts shaking, everything like the wilderness is trying to communicate with her. And I really like this where she says like, no, like we're going home and we're going to leave you behind here. And that's obviously a sad quote because obviously Natalie wasn't really ever able to get rid of the wilderness, and she talks about that in the present. Even though it sucked in the present, it kind of is a fit-in thing here. So really sad scene here. I really liked it a lot. It makes me really sad for Ben that he couldn't make it to this moment because I really wish Ben did. But obviously, that's what this moments are made for. But
for one person who deserved to listen, if I get, it's like the Mr. Krabs thing of like, I'd rather that worm come in here right now and eat you all alive. It's like I would rather you all starve out here than if I could fucking Ben live.
Yeah, because he really deserved it, as we talked about.
I'll sacrifice every single one of you motherfuckers to save Ben.
Especially recast girl.
I would kill her again and again and again.
That's true. But yeah, anything else you want to say about this scene? Because it's really sad.
No, probably my favorite scene of the episode, honestly. Really good. Again, Natalie and Ben are my favorite characters, so... a scene where Natalie's talking about Ben is great.
Yeah.
And a nice progression of like, obviously Natalie wasn't a believer. And now she believes in this like forced bullshit, but like she's not like, worshiping a bit like Lottie. Like there's kind of like a breeze. Natalie like feels something there. And Natalie just kind of like yells at it like, whatever the fuck you are, we're getting out of here and we're leaving you behind.
Yeah. I like that a lot. So sorry, I had to plug my laptop in. I mean, it wasn't going to die, but I noticed the light wasn't on to charge it or anything like that.
You ever notice that Allie's the only one who ever goes back to the plane?
Yeah, that's interesting. And that's like what she sees. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like... I mean, Travis has been there, but that's been with Natalie, too.
Natalie, twice. One time they were hooking up, and the other time, like, they were digging up, like, his dad's ring.
Yeah.
Then... Natalie was there because she buried Jackie's remains, and she like saw that vision of the moose.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a little weird that like it's whenever we get a plane scene, it's like only Natalie.
Maybe because Natalie like can like move on from like the crash like quicker.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing maybe or also that like Natalie's like the one leading the charge. Like she's the one wanting to go home the most, or like is doing the most to make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but that is interesting that Natalie is the only one that goes back to the plane. I never really caught that before.
Travis doesn't really count because those were like scenes with Natalie.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if they'll do something with that though. Or one of the writers, because like the next seat.
Oh, sorry, I forgot another little detail. They changed the sign on the outside of the plane.
Yeah, what does it say? SOS.
Yes, sports and SOS like went to Lake, and then because then they you see like an X over it, and then it says like deeper.
Yep.
Obviously, because they like changed locations, so then they changed the SOS to like we went like deeper into the woods.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
Well, it's just a nice little like they didn't have to do that, but like it was a nice little detail. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know if it was there last. I don't know if they did that last season, but if it was, I didn't notice it.
I've seen interviews and stuff that they've actually like kept like the plane, like on set, like it's still there, like even when they're not filming or anything like that, which is pretty cool.
I mean, like it feels like don't get rid of it till the show ends.
Yeah, I imagine. I wonder what they'll do with it. Like if it'll be like.
Well, I know Better Call Saul. They kept Saul's office intact from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, yeah, because usually when a show ends, they kind of just like scrap the sets. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So it's kind of cool. I imagine. I wonder what they'll do with it. Like once the show ends, if they'll like keep it out there. Maybe I imagine they'll keep it out there like maybe in the year after the show ends, and then figure out maybe they'll put it like in like if there's like a convention or something, they'll like win it back or something type of thing. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah, it depends. I think they usually like scrap sets and like maybe like reuse them for something else.
I mean, we still got to get what happened. We still got to get the other team they were supposed to face and doing like finals and everything like that. We gotta get their story, Yeah,
the blue sleeves.
No, what do we say? Oh yeah, blue sleeves. Yeah, because blue and yellow make green. And then we have to get the green sleeves because they blue and yellow make green.
Yellow jackets, blue sleeves, green sweater.
Yeah.
The best time wear a striped sweater is.
I love it.
That's their theme music.
Yes, I love it. And then a little bit later, we see that Recast Girl number 1 is getting on some water. And doing this, we see Melissa and Jen talking off in the distance. Melissa, there's a McDonald's reference here because Melissa mentions a quarter pounder that she's gonna pig out on McDonald's.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, kind of cool because I just watched Stranger Things and there was a KFC reference in that episode today, so it's kind of cool. We're getting all the fast food getting mentioned here and everything.
Oh, and that really reminds me. I was at work, obviously doing my job and watching a movie. I watched fucking Demolition Man, and there's a weird thing. So it's like set in the future, and they mentioned there was like a restaurant war, and like the only surviving restaurant was like, so in the original cut it was Taco Bell, but they had like after like the movie came out, like a couple years passed, they lost the trademark to Taco Bell.
Yeah. So
in future versions of the movie, every time anyone says Taco Bell, they have a dub over it where they say KFC.
That's funny. So
no, not KFC. Actually, maybe it was KFC. I don't know. But anyway, so like it's very obvious, like the dub, like it's like they're saying something else, but like they're obviously like dubbing over it. And then like in the background, you could see the Taco Bell logo on the building, but they just didn't change it.
That's funny.
They changed to Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah.
But you can tell the actors are saying Taco Bell, and then they like cut that out and like changed it to Pizza Hut.
Do you remember that? Since we're talking about that, do you remember that in that SpongeBob episode? Because you probably know about it. If you rewatch Something Smells, like there's a weird edit now where SpongeBob goes to say like hi to that building, and like I don't know what happened, but like all of a sudden like he'll say like his line that he said like afterwards, and that like there's a weird edit. I don't know if you've rewatched the episode since then, but it's so weird like how it's edited now, type of thing.
I'm in it now. That does remind me though. I watched a video on Drake and Josh the other day, and the Storm episode. There's a scene where Drake like shoots sunblock at like this guy in his band. Like he like squirts sunblock all over his face.
Yeah.
They cut the scene so like it doesn't show Drake actually squirting the sunblock. It just like cuts, and then you just see the guy in the background with like white shit all over his face.
That's even weirder cut because now
Worse. That makes it worse because
Yeah.
it makes it like you see the sunblock, and they did it because obviously like it looks like Drake came on his face.
But that's even worse though.
And it looks like that's what he actually did.
I know, so it's so weird.
Yeah,
But
it made it
anyhow,
worse.
but
My point was it'd be funny if in the future that like they cut the scene so instead of saying a quarter pounder, she says like a pizza or something.
yeah, that'd be funny.
You know, redub it.
It won't be as funny though because they were like off. They were off far enough where like you wouldn't be able to tell that's totally what they said type of thing.
Yeah.
So.
What a funny fucking tangent we went on all because you said quarter pounder.
I love it. So then recast number one, goes back to where they're keeping the animals and everything like that to the zoo, and then she sees like all the plants are dead, all the animals are dead, and obviously she's like freaking out and everything like that. And then Lottie comes up to her and says, "Is everything alright, recast girl number one?" I would love it if she actually said that, but
Well, Lottie's the only one who's like aware of the fact that she's like a different person.
I would love it. And then obviously then when she actually looks over, all the animals and everything is like fine. She's like, "The animals, is this real? Like, are the animals actually like moving and everything like that?" And then Lottie says like, "Yeah, they're fine." And obviously recast girl number one is still freaking out and just leaves. And Lottie gets kind of like this like smile on her face, like she kind of likes the fact that she like got this vision and everything like that, like kind of showing that like maybe like the wilderness actually is trying to like speak to her and everything like that, which is pretty interesting. I wonder what this vision will.
Not clean that blood off her face. Like it has been like an entire day, and she's still got it all over her face.
Yeah, she'll get to it when she gets to it.
A priority for her.
Just
Well, like Mari said, she's busy fucking that blood dirt.
well, they buried it by this point. How can she still be busy with it? So
Listen, Mari didn't take that as an insult. She took that as genuine advice.
Yeah, but this is interesting. It will be interesting to see what this vision like means later on, like the Ben vision. I feel like we're starting to kind of see what that means because obviously, it didn't necessarily because if they had walked in before like Ben died, if they didn't kill Ben, they wouldn't probably be as worried about going home. Like they would probably still worry about the other stuff, but I think the Ben thing is like the biggest worry they have because that's what they actually like saw, and they wouldn't have to like keep that from them as much. Like they would honestly, they would have no problem just going home. Probably a lot of people would be like fine, like okay, they didn't see anything, so we can just leave. And then but this animal vision, I'm wondering what will come of that because everyone like here like dies. Like is that a vision showing that everyone else's fate's gonna be death? Not necessarily in the wilderness, but like later on, because obviously
and are you telling me everybody's gonna die? I can't believe it. It's like she dies at the age of fucking like 85, and then recast girl's like, I knew she would die. Like, okay.
We'll see, but yeah, I'll be interested to see what comes of this vision. What do you think of this vision? I thought it was pretty okay.
Well, I mean, again, I think it's pretty obvious that like something's gonna go wrong. Because like obviously we know for a fact they're gonna be there for another winter, and like obviously the scientists don't go good because they already talked about how like Hannah's dead.
Yeah.
So like we know we know the show's not, and obviously just because of the fact that the season's not over, and we have another season after this, so like they don't get rescued now.
Right. And then it's time for them to go. And you get this really good moment of hope where everyone's kind of happy about it. Nally threatens the researchers. Well, I guess Cody, because he's not really a researcher, but and says that like if they try anything, they will kill them and everything like that. Kind of a weird threat to do because Cody literally is the only one. Because if they kill Cody, like they have no way of getting home. So it's kind of weird that Cody like took this threat. Like I'm surprised he didn't like clap back and be like, "Well, if you kill me, you have no way of getting home."
Well, he was pretty chill about it. He was like, "Yeah, I kind of figured," like he said something like that.
But it's kind of weird he didn't clap back because if I was in his situation, I would be like, well, what? Well, if you kill me,
Great, then fuck you.
yeah, but whatever. I can respect Cody for not saying anything. He's being chill though.
Yeah, no, you just he's really just like, okay, I just want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And then yeah, everyone gets ready to go home. But Lottie decides like I can't leave. I mean, it's like I do kind of like this. Like it's like, and I kind of like that they did the storyline. Because the biggest comment I'll give about it was, obviously we've gone through a whole season where they've just been in hopelessness. Like they've had no chances really of getting home. All the chances were blue in season 1, and then they've had no chances in season 2, and then like season 3, the first real chance they had was just was just whatever that vision was with recast going number 1. But even then, that was kind of a leap. And now this is here, like they actually have a chance to go home, and they built up the whole episode where like everyone actually like was optimistic about it, for the most part. And then Lottie says like I can't leave. And I actually get Lottie's point here. Lottie kind of mentions like if I go back, I won't be me. Like I've gotten to see the real side of myself and like who I truly can be out here. And honestly, I think this hits home a little bit because obviously, as we find out, right when she goes back, she's gonna get that like shock therapy and like she's gonna be in like a ton of mental institutions because of this. So I can understand why Lottie feels this way and everything like that.
Yeah.
And even before knowing,
she's been on like schizophrenia medication for like years. So this is probably like the first time she's been off her meds in like since she was a child.
And even without knowing all that stuff, I can totally buy why she would like feel the need to stay and everything like that.
Yeah.
I don't buy why she
gonna form a cult where like it's literally just like the woods again.
Yeah. So, although I don't understand why she killed Dead Meat the first episode, though. That I still don't understand because she just fucked everyone else's chance of going back. So, like,
Yeah. So, yeah. Although, to be fair to her, she's not forcing everybody else to stay. Before she was like, guys, we can't go back. And then here, she's not telling everybody else to stay. She's just saying, like, I'm staying.
Yeah. I do like when Natalie tries to, like, reason with her and says, like, look, I know it's scary to, like, go back, but, like, this is an opportunity for her to go back. And I like that Lottie is not forcing Natalie to stay, but she does say, like, well, what do you have to go back to? Because, again, we know Natalie's life, like, sucks.
Yeah, Natalie kind of sucks back home. So, like, I do like that where where Lottie points out, like, and as much as we know, like, her mom, like, we saw her funeral, and, like, I still don't like the show treating it like a joke. But, like, I do kind of like that, like, her funeral sucked. Like, nobody was really that sad for her.
Yeah, that would be better if, again, the show actually...
It's been treated more as, like, a sad thing rather than, like, a comedy bit.
Yeah.
But the idea of it is nice. That, like, Natalie got back. She just became a drug addict to, like, cope with everything. And then, like, nobody was really all that sad when she died. Well, I mean, like, a couple people.
Yeah, a solid. It was a solid idea, and I do like that. But
good idea executed.
Yeah, and yeah, I like that. Even though Lottie says that, like Natalie has all this hope of going home, which I guess that the reverse of that kind of sucks. Like Natalie was the one that wanted to go back here, and she's the one that like probably suffered the most when she actually like got back and everything like that type of thing.
Yeah. Whereas Lottie, I mean, if you think about it, like, I mean, her dad's kind of a dick, but like we know her dad does actually like love and care about her.
Yeah.
He's like got a ton of money, and like she's I mean like Lottie would honestly be pretty well off back home.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
it just like stopped with all like the cult murder shit,
Yeah. But yeah, Natalie says like fuck it, then stay then, but we're all going home, and I do like that Lottie fucking packed a bag, even though she decided, like, last second she wasn't. I like to think she actually didn't pack a bag. Like, it's just empty. Like, nothing was actually, like, in the...
Rocks. She's just trying to be dramatic.
Huh?
I said it's, like, full of rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Shauna decides, like, to stay. And the reason Lottie says that, as I say, too, is she says it also doesn't feel right. Like, she has this feeling. And, like, Lottie thinks that that's why Shauna wants to stay, but Shauna says like, no, I'm not staying because of you. And Shauna obviously doesn't really have like a reason she's staying, but obviously I don't really mind that she doesn't tell the group because obviously we know the reason because she feels like, she doesn't really know what her life would be like out there type of thing. And, Nallie's just like, oh, you know what? You guys can stay. And then Thaisa puts her bag down. She never actually said she was staying. She could have just been putting her bag down because it was heavy. You never know. Like, Van just...
No, and then Thaisa's like, I'm just like, my arms get heavy. We're standing here for like 10 minutes.
But that would have been funny. But yeah, Thaisa, Van finally loses. Like, no, Thaisa, like, you are not staying here. Like, you're coming with us. And Thaisa says, like, look, I'm feeling the same thing that Shauna and Lottie are feeling. And I like what Van says. He's like, you don't even believe in any of that stuff. Because obviously, this is the first time when, like, Thaisa's actually believed in that shit. And the only reason she went to those meetings was because Van was going. And this is kind of...
Van is literally the worst time for you to believe.
Yep. She sees the light finally, Yeah. And, Natalie says, like, and then this is where Travis says his line, like, look, what's stupid is ignoring rescue and when it's provided for you. And Natalie just has finally had enough and says, like, look, we're leaving. If you guys want to stay, then so be it. And then Shauna says, no. And we didn't get anything more than that. It kind of cuts after that point. So that's...
So if Shauna does anything to stop the group from going, I want a scene where everybody is just like, where Shauna's on the ground and everybody is just fucking beating the absolute fuck out of her.
Yeah, and Thaisa and Lottie just standing there like watching it happen and everything like that type of thing.
Yeah. Because so Nally has a gun. Travis has a crossbow, which I don't even know where the fuck they got that, but it was Cody's.
Yeah, it was Cody's.
And then like everybody else has like some kind of weapon.
And even
they all have like weapons.
And even if they don't, it's still like Shauna's outnumbered regardless.
Well, as we said, like Lottie and Thaisa like are staying, but like they're not forcing everybody else to stay. Shauna's the only one who's like, I'm staying, and also all of you are staying.
Yeah.
Also, I don't understand Shauna's thought process. Like maybe we'll get it next episode because we got to see what happens. But if Shauna is just like, I'm evil and miserable, I'm guessing that's just what it is because Melissa, back with Capgirl, says present day that like you're miserable and you want everybody else around you to be just as miserable. So I'm guessing it's like Shauna's staying, so she's gonna basically force everybody else to stay. But it's like that's stupid.
Yeah.
If they do the thing like with the trial where everybody's just afraid of her, like bows down, then that's horseshit. Because I can understand them being afraid of her, but not to the point of like I'm just gonna live out in the fucking woods forever. Then I guess.
Yeah, me too. And again, like you said, everybody has, two people have weapons, and even then, she's outnumbered. The only one that, like, she could probably do damage, she could probably kill one person, and then would probably be Backwoods Capco, and we know she's not dying, because she's got an arm and a sling. But other than that, not much is going to happen, though. Yeah, I'll be interested to see. I do like we have a division of some wanted to stay, and, some wanted to go because that makes sense because, a lot of them, they've been out there long enough where I could see some of them wanting to stay.
Well, that's what I think. It's like we didn't even really get like this wasn't like a big discussion. This was like three people who were like not even on the same page as each other. Like Shauna even made it clear, like I'm not doing this because of you, Lottie, or like because of it.
Yeah.
And again, it's also isn't doing this because of Shauna or Lottie. Like they are not all on the same page about this. And
again, I don't really understand what they would do because if, say, like, everyone else decides to, like, leave, like, obviously, they all can't hunt, as we saw Lottie can't hunt from,
last season.
Yeah, last season, and then Thaisa and Shauna, they really can't hunt, so...
Okay, even if they all stayed, like, you're also gonna die. Like you all understand that, right? Like, you cannot live out here forever.
Yeah.
Like, you will die.
Especially, they said winter's coming soon. And like we talked about this off camera, winter's coming, so they said they prepared for it, but they don't have a cabin this time. It's just out in the open.
Also, mention this to Owen off camera. I read a book in elementary school called The Hatchet about this kid, plane crash, stranded out in the Canadian wilderness for like months. And then like at the end of the book, he gets rescued. He goes home. Happy ending. But then they did like a sequel, like what if he didn't get rescued and he had to like survive like the winter and like so on. And then eventually in that like alternate universe, he did get rescued eventually. But like he had been out there so long, he couldn't really like adjust back. So he ended up going back out to the woods because like he felt at home there. But like he was smart about it, and like he was like, okay, well, like I'm going back, but like I'm gonna bring some shit so I'm a little more comfortable, like blankets and like a tea kettle, you know, and like some like decent fucking food.
Yeah.
So like my thing is like, okay, Shauna, Lottie, Taissa, like I understand, I really do. Get the fuck out of there. And if you really like being in the woods that much, bring some shit and then go back out to the woods. Like, go back out afterwards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And again, Taissa's whole like thing about like I'm worried about the scientists and whatever. It's like, okay, you got 6 days to talk about this. If you guys get thrown in fucking prison, that is a better alternative. You get 3 square meals a day and you got a fucking TV. There you go.
Yeah.
Like I will take prison over being stranded out in the fucking Canadian wilderness forever.
And like you said, this too, depending on what happened, if Shauna is the one that keeps them from like going home, it's gonna make no sense why they're all of a sudden so cool with her, like present day and everything like that type of thing.
Oh, it's like, again, this other thing I said off camera, like that goes beyond like her being kind of a bitch out there. Like, it's like, yeah, okay, like them being like cool with her and not just like not wanting to like talk to her. It's like, okay, that's pretty weird. That would go beyond just not wanting to speak to her. That would go into like the fact that they have not murdered her over the last 25 years.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like if she kept everybody from going home, and like we know more people die. So like if other people end up dying because Shauna like forces them to stay, that is like beyond. I'm not talking to you. That is okay. So like we all get back home. Okay, so we're all murdering Shauna. Like we're all on the same page about that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So like, sometime in the next 25 years, we are jumping her and fucking killing her.
Hey, maybe
like, that's just what we're doing.
Maybe they're still working on that plan. Maybe they're just trying to catch you off guard.
We're really playing the long game.
Yeah, but overall, I liked the past for what it was. I thought it was pretty solid. I liked having this plot. I liked the Bent scene. I liked the Travis stuff was pretty good. I liked that there were some people that didn't want to go back, some that did. I just didn't really think some of the.
I like that idea. I do not like the execution.
Yeah, same. So overall, the
But
past. Huh?
I said, but before that, everything else was good.
Yeah. It's probably like a thumbs, maybe in the middle, slightly pointed up because the end is really weird.
Yeah, I say thumbs up, but like again, that like last scene, we're like, okay,
oh my god,
thank you.
Finally!
Yeah, finally. Well, actually, when I do a thumbs up, still a thumbs up. I don't think that scene ruins it. I guess we got to see what happens in this episode. If again, Shauna just like bullies everybody into staying, then like that's horseshit.
Yeah.
Now it's fine. We got to see what happens. Again, I just wish Vision make more sense.
I also talked about this off camera. Something tells me the researchers aren't going to be around much longer because, again, this happened, and we already kind of know their fates. They could just kill Hannah, obviously, and they could keep Cody, because that's the thing. There's really no reason for them to kill Cody. Like, Cody could, even if they're not going to go back, Cody could actually be useful to them, because he knows...
Cody can hunt, and again, he is your only hope of getting the fuck out of there. Like, Hannah, okay, sure, fine, kill her. But, like, why? Like, if they kill Cody, that's insane.
Yeah.
Even Cody is bullshitting and he doesn't know how to get out of there, I still wouldn't take that risk.
Yeah. I would at least keep him around, because, again, he can hunt. He knows how to get out of there if they want to go home. And, yeah, so that would be weird. I also want to put up this point, because, again, Misty or Van, I forget which one said it, present day. They mentioned that Jen and Melissa got pretty close to Hannah in the past. And if they're only going to be around for the next couple episodes, you really need to start, like, showing scenes where Melissa and Jen...
That's pretty... So, yeah, that scene earlier where like it was Thaisa watching Hannah. That's pretty weird. You figure they would have had, Melissa or Jen watch Hannah since they set that up.
Yeah. But so
Hey,
hopefully,
Jen could actually like be a character and like have a line.
yeah. Hey, she had a line. She gave Melissa advice on how to do the quarter pounder deal. It mentions just finish it off with the fries.
They really fucking changed everything. That's my favorite character now, Jen.
So now every time you have a quarter pounder, you'll finish it off with the fries and think of Jen. So.
Yeah, this one's for you, Jen. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, because we know she's dead. Oh, is she?
Yeah. Also faked her death.
But yeah, in all seriousness, we need to get like some scenes with Melissa and Hannah like talking, because if they're not gonna be around much longer, they can't. I don't know. I think they kind of screwed it up because I don't know how close you can get with someone in like 2 episodes, but they'll find a way, I guess. So
yeah, unless they keep the scientists around into next season, but like, I don't know. I mean, they might do that.
we'll see.
Yeah. Going to the everything's pretty disconnected from each other, so it should be easy to talk about. So Jeff's plot. So we get Jeff in the hotel room. Callie's trying to call Shauna because she's like telling him like, "Hey, I think Dad's like losing it a bit. Like you were kind of breaking him."
I think you forgot a scene in the restaurant or whatever it was.
Oh, you're right. So I was thinking this was after. Yeah, right. Yeah, so they go down to the restaurant. Yeah, because they're basically just like, we gotta like get out of the room for a little bit. And then they're talking a bit, and then Jeff like starts covering his face because he sees the guys from that dinner a couple episodes ago, and they spot Jeff and they're like, "Hey, come over here, man." He's like, "Ah, shit." So he goes over. And they make a comment about Callie because he's thinking like, "Oh, is that your date?" And he's like, "Actually, that's my daughter."
Yeah, that's weird.
And they're kind of shitting on Jeff, because like obviously they're not taking his deal, and they're kind of just like roasting him a little bit. And they're like, "Actually, we're meeting with another guy." And then Jeff looks over, and this was pretty funny, where Jeff is like, "I'm not furniturefam.net."
Yeah, that was
like,
funny.
You guys can't fam.net. I want a fucking Jeff spinoff of him just like managing his fucking furniture store.
Randy could be a part of it too. He could be the B story or whatever he's doing.
Yeah, I would fucking take that.
That should be the spinoff after YellowJackets ends.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's gonna be
it's like a Wolf of Wall Street type show.
I think it's gonna be a prequel. It's like Jeff building up his business, and then his business is it's like and we see that Jeff is actually happy like at work. Like that's the most like joy he gets.
Yeah, Shauna, you told me. You asked me if I was in the money business or the furniture business. Neither. I'm in the empire business.
I love it.
Furniture empire really something to be proud of.
I think for Jeff, yeah, with the state he's in.
Yeah.
He can't even go.
I was fucking Breaking Bad, but it's Jeff and his furniture store.
And Shauna keeps fucking up his empire because like every meeting he has, Shauna fucks up.
So does that make Shauna Hank?
I guess it would, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess Callie's Walter Jr. I guess Callie would be. Huh?
I love it if Jeff shaves his head and grows a goatee.
I love it. And then
so who would be Randy?
Who would be who?
Who would be his Jesse? Randy?
Yeah, but Jesse sees it like one and two probably.
Yeah. I would love that. Fucking the Jeff and Randy spinoff. I would fucking love that.
And then Callie is Walter Jr. and she only eats we only see her at breakfast time.
Yeah, it's breakfast.
Yep.
I would love that.
Anybody else have to make a cameo doing all this?
No, Ben would be Walter Jr.
Oh yeah, but he's dead in the present, so that wouldn't work.
Jeff and Randy spinoff, and then guest starring Ben's ghost.
Yeah, he's just watching over it.
Ben's a ghost, and he's still fucking in crutches.
I love it. Oh, it's the Joe Swatchen joke where every time you see him.
Yeah. I was thinking of when Peter was like, "Hey, can we be X-Men?" And then like Joe's Professor X, and he's like, "What a surprise!"
I was actually thinking of I don't know if it's like they bought like I don't think it was a fortune teller, but like the person who could see like who they were in like the past, and Joe was like an octopus, but then like he got like all his legs eaten or whatever.
Oh, also when they go to heaven, they meet God, And then Joe sees like a handicap sign. He's like, "Oh, what? Come on, there's handicap up here too." And God is like, "Oh yeah, you guys are like this forever."
Oh, poor Ben.
Yeah, you didn't see that episode? That was funny.
Oh, I did see it. I'm just saying poor Ben.
Okay.
I'm just saying poor
Yeah.
Ben because I just realized like that could be him. You know, he's still got a.
Yeah, he gets up to heaven. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, sorry, man."
I don't know. It's a newer Family Guy episode. Or it's that episode in Family Guy where Lois is reading like the game rules to people and it just goes on forever. So they just kill himself and then Peter went to hell and that's what hell was. So he like revived himself and just put him back like up into the world.
That's funny. I didn't see that one. But fuck, where was I at? Oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, Jeff's pretty depressed that his deal went bad, and then obviously like his rival is getting this big job offer, and then he also gets a call from Misty because Misty is of course still suspicious of Shauna. Oh, by the way, I looked it up because last time I couldn't tell. I forgot what the terms were. Yeah, with hair, you get the root is nuclear DNA, which can be used to identify individuals, and then the shaft of the hair is mitochondrial DNA, which is like can test your like maternal line.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Because remember, I knew what it was last episode, but I couldn't think of the exact term.
Apparently, Walter didn't know this, and he's like big into the, investigation process and everything.
I mean, to be fair, I get why they wouldn't question Callie.
Yeah, I guess.
But anyway, that's just my point. Is like, oh yeah, no, they're definitely setting it up. That's Callie.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially because Callie makes a comment in a little bit that is like also furthering that idea. But yeah, Misty calls Jeff and she's like, hey, she mentions she's like not being specific. She's like, we're at a hospital. And like, hey, what happened with Sean on the day Lottie died? Like, was she like, where were you guys? Like, was she at that retirement home the entire day? And Jeff is like, what? Why are you at a hospital? And like, what do you mean? Like, why was Sean? Like, what do you mean was Sean there at the retirement home the whole day? Like, what's going on? And Misty is just like, I too would like to know, and hangs up. And Jeff is like, what the fuck?
Again, it had out.
It's like, the context, but Jeff is out in the dark. So Misty just like asked a bunch of really vague, cryptic questions and then hung up on him.
Well, back to season 2 where they speak in riddles, and Jeff actually had the reaction that we have when they speak in riddles.
Where it's like, fuck. Yeah, no, literally.
Honestly, I like to think that that's what broke Jeff. It wasn't any of the Shauna stuff. It's the fact that Misty called him speak.
Fucking riddles.
I love it.
So yeah, Jeff is obviously freaked out because again, everything's going wrong for this poor guy. Yeah, they get back to the hotel room, and then this is the scene I was thinking of. Where Callie's like trying to get a hold of Shauna to like let her know. Yeah, Jeff was like freaking out, and then Callie kind of just yells at Jeff, and then Jeff's like, "I'm sorry, you're right. We should have at least one parent who like keeps it together." So I do like that where he's making like jabs at Shauna.
Yeah,
because or whenever something would happen, he would kind of try to like include himself whenever like instead of just saying this is Shauna's fault, he would say like, oh, it's our fault, or like this is me and your mother's fault. He would like include himself.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's just totally throwing Shauna under the bus. Totally throwing Shauna under the bus here.
Well, I don't even think it's like throwing her under the bus. I think he's just like done bullshitting, and he's like, especially later on, where he's like, no, this isn't my fault. This is Sean's fault.
This is what you wanted too, so you finally getting in episode 8 too. So
yeah, exactly. So again, I don't think that's throwing it under the bus. I think that's just like he's not throwing himself under the bus with Shauna, essentially.
Yeah, I like that.
And yeah, sure enough, Kelly is just like, hey, Dad, like I don't think anybody's actually after Mom. And Jeff is like, yeah, I don't either. Wait's like, wait, why do you think that? Because Jeff kind of gives some reasons where he's like, your mom is just like, she immediately went to the brakes being cut and like the freezer and the phone. Like it doesn't add up. Like these are all like so disconnected, and like it's just weird that your mom is immediately jumping to somebody being after her.
Mm-hmm.
But so like he gives some pretty valid reasons. But when Allie has to ask for why she doesn't believe it, she just says like it's like a feeling.
She's got the spider sense,
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it's like Star Wars, where it's like I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, that's true too. Because
somebody says that line every movie. I don't know if you noticed it.
Who says it in the first? Well, not episode
I
one,
know,
but
first one, Han Solo says it. Second one, I forget who says it. I think it might have been Leia.
okay.
But yeah, the line "I got a bad feeling about this" is said in every Star Wars movie.
That's funny. Maybe Callie's been watching some Star Wars.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe she was in Star
But yeah.
Wars, and this is like her movie. You know, everyone gets to stop. Maybe all along we've been following Callie's story, and
I would love that. Yeah, this is somehow like a Star Wars spinoff, and like we don't know.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then spoils something I haven't seen yet in Star Wars.
I would love that. I can't even make a joke about that because like I can't say a spoiler without you knowing. Or Callie's like, by the way, Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Yeah, but I already know that.
Wait, I'm trying to say something that wouldn't actually be a spoiler to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Callie's just really vague, but she does. I do like this where she says like maybe just like, you know, whatever happened out there, like to like mom and like all of her friends, just like really messed them up like permanently.
Yep.
So yeah, Jeff and Callie are just like, you know what, we're just again, and Callie says like whatever happened to them, like, is like really affected them, but like we shouldn't let it affect us. And then Jeff is like, you know what, you're right. Like pack your bags, like we're going back home.
I do kind of like this because Jeff kind of gave her like the same advice somewhat, like in season 2. Where he says, "Let's not like your mom's boated bill isn't your boat."
And I do like that where Callie says it doesn't have to affect us.
Yeah, but obviously, like you said, this is obviously like more foreshadowing that Callie was the one that was behind Lottie's murder because obviously,
If somehow don't go that route, I'll be genuinely surprised.
yeah, because she was very vague when when Jeff asked her like, why do you think that? Because obviously, she was pretty vague on it. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah,
because we talked about this off camera. I kind of hope if it is Callie, they naturally, reveal that because obviously we didn't really get that with even though we already knew we didn't really get that with everyone else finding out about like Jeff being the blackmail and stuff. That came out very unnaturally, so I hope it's naturally revealed that Callie did it. Not like Callie mentions like she went to New York or something, or like went to, I don't know, at the same store that like just happens to be in New Jersey, and then Misty like puts two and two together, and all of a sudden she just thinks that she just thinks that Callie did it. Because that would make sense. Why the receipt? Why Sean? They would find that receipt of in Shauna's van because maybe Callie used Shauna's van to go to New Jersey. I guess that wouldn't really make sense because I'm pretty sure they take the van to go to the retirement home.
I'm gonna use the van to like buy that cat, so that wouldn't make sense.
Maybe they took a mother-daughter trip, and
I mean, it's New York City. I think it'd be pretty easy for Callie to just like take a subway.
Yeah, but because it's in New Jersey, so
yeah, so like it's not like that far of a hike.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Jeff and Callie are leaving. We get kind of a funny scene where like the receptionist is like joking with Jeff, because they're like, oh, hope you didn't use the open bar, or like to like rack up the hotel price. And Jeff was like, oh, open bar, and he like realizes she's joking. He's like, ah. I think this was like a little bit of flirting. Like I think it's kind of just showing that like, and then also with the next scene, I think it's just showing that like Jeff is pretty better off without Shauna. Because remember in season 1, Shauna made a comment to Callie about how like once it's like they got divorced, Jeff would be like living alone in his like sad apartment, and then like he would be asking Callie for like dating advice.
Yeah. And we talked about that like in episode 6 when we saw that like Jeff and Callie were like watching TV and like laughing in bed. I know that sounds really weird out of context, but in bed together and everything like that type of thing. So
yeah, and then Shauna came in and like ruined it. Yeah, and then even when Shauna does imply that Jeff would be fine without her, she kind of does it as like a jab because like I think in season 2, she made a comment of like, oh, like every like oh Jeff, my husband, like I think when she's like talking to Mr. Mustache or something, she mentions that like, oh, my husband would, flourish without me, like kind of doing it in like a guilt tripping way.
Yeah.
So basically like Shauna throws shade at Jeff, and like whatever she does imply that he would be fine without her. She does it in like a guilt tripping way.
Yeah.
But I think here we're seeing that like, Jeff would just legitimately be better off without Shauna.
I do kind of like this conversation between Jeff and the receptionist, because it kind of shows like Jeff is just still kind of slowly breaking and everything like that. And you can see he's just been through all this shit where like obviously the receptionist is normally getting that POV. And I've been in the receptionist position where like, I mean, obviously it's a really weird, but when people come into Lowe's, since I work there, there'll be like two people who like know each other. I have no context to any of that or anything like that. So I'll see like a whole conversation go down and everything like that. And then
kind
of
of just like,
yeah.
But yeah, as Jeff's leaving, he sees those two guys again. And then Jeff, I do like this, kind of just decides, because before they like called him over and he kind of tried to like walk over and he really didn't want to. This time Jeff is the one to approach them. And then he says like, guys, look, that dinner we had before, you didn't like me because of my wife.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who ruined the dinner and not me. Like it wasn't me that ruined the deal, and it wasn't my business. And like my wife is, isn't like diagnosed insane, but she might as well be. And you know what? She's miserable, and she makes everybody else miserable. But like that's not me. Like that's not my fault. I'm the reason most people like anything. And he throws some charm at them. He's like, "Come on, have you guys never fallen in love with a miserable woman, or like a crazy woman, or has every woman you've ever been with been fucking boring?"
Yeah,
and
they kind of what?
And then they like chuckle at that when Jeff makes that joke.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "All right, Callie, come on, let's go." And then he's like, "Guys, I just want you to know, like, I am the best man at this job." And he doesn't like sell it to him. He just says like, "I want you to know that."
Yeah.
Kind of like basically, Jeff just wants it to be clear that's how he feels. Like whether they take him on his advice or not, doesn't matter. He's just like, "I want you to know I'm the best person for you. Whether you agree with that or not, like that's the truth."
I do like this change in Jeff, and it doesn't feel forced because he's starting to feel this way anyways. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with this when the next time Jeff and Shauna see each other on screen and everything like that.
Yeah. Well, I also like that like Callie is like smirking at like Jeff doing this, because like whenever Jeff's like business gets brought up, like Shauna and even Callie to a lesser extent kind of like eye roll and I'm kind of like, "Oh, okay," like they don't treat it like it's important. But like here, Shauna kind of not Shauna, Callie kind of just like smiles, and I think she can even see like, "Oh shit, no, like Jeff really is like good at this. Like he's good at his job."
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that where Jeff kind of grew a backbone, and he like told these guys like, "Look," and I like that like he's throwing shit at Shauna, like it's deserved.
Very much.
He's right. And
I'm gonna see.
kind of like throws himself under the bus with Shauna. I like that here. He's like, "No, like I'm personable. A lot of people like me. My business is good. Like it's not my fault."
And I like that we've seen that throughout the show. Like we saw that when he was doing the bingo thing with the old ladies in the retirement episode. He's been trying to like do this with Shauna and stuff like that, like throughout the season. Like with the
only thing is that like, okay, to be fair, he did get himself in debt, like, and that wasn't Shauna's fault. That was all on him.
Yeah, but I do like.
Although to be fair, I mentioned that was because like he like kind of was late to like doing online stuff.
Yeah, so
like now that he has like a website, I think it's like its business seems to be good.
So
and he did also mention like he didn't really talk to Shauna about it because like he felt like because Shauna keeps so many secrets, like he felt like he couldn't talk to Shauna about it.
Exactly. Yeah. So
maybe if like had somebody to talk to, he wouldn't have resorted to like the loan shark.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with this. I'm kind of, the next scene that Shauna and Jeff have, I kind of hope he actually does stand up to Shauna, and it'll be interesting to see like how she reacts to it. Like, is it going to lead to Jeff's death, or is it going to lead to something worse for Jeff?
That'd be fucking. They were married for 25 years, and the first time Jeff like stands up to her, Shauna's like, "Okay, cool," kill him.
Yeah. And what will his reaction be if Callie actually did murder Lottie? It would be kind of interesting if that breaks him, seeing that like Callie's starting to take that dog turn too, type of thing.
Yeah. Because remember, I forgot. Jeff had that dream of like Shauna killing him in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that was foreshadowing.
We'll see.
Yeah, but yeah, I really like this little Jeff plot. Again, I've been saying it since the beginning of the season. I've liked this like divide between Jeff and Shauna, and I like Jeff kind of standing on his own. You said that like the fans do not like Jeff, and I'm amazed. Jeff is like one of the best characters in the show.
Yeah, I like this little Jeff plot here. I thought it was pretty solid. I feel like too this is good because we haven't really gotten like a lot of Jeff and Callie like this season, which is really weird because you would think. Again, it is so weird that like Callie was moved to like like a main character instead of like a recurring and supporting character. Because season 3, you would not think that because it has not felt that way in season 3.
Yeah. Barely there season 1, pretty prominent season 2, and then she's like not as less prominent as season 1, but she's definitely stepped down from season 2.
Do the YellowJackets like showrunners and stuff not know what a main character like is? Because if you had said this in like season 2, like Callie got moved up to main character, I would have believed it. I don't believe it in season 3. Like it just doesn't make sense.
But yeah, moving on to Misty and Tice's plot. Yeah, so as I said, Misty was calling Shauna, and then called Jeff, just trying to like figure out what the hell's going on. Because you remember, Shauna drove off, and she has no clue why, and where.
Yeah, I'll just say this: Misty doesn't actually do anything this episode. She was just contractually obligated to be there. So
yeah. By the way, I'm really hoping the YellowJackets get pissed at Shauna because Shauna fucked off when like Van is dying, as far as they know.
Yeah.
And then especially because she ends up going to Melissa's house, backwards Capco's house. Sorry. And then, like if they end up meeting up with Shauna later, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck? We literally went on this trip, so you wouldn't pull any crazy shit, and then you fucking ditch us at the hospital, and then break into her house, and as we're gonna find out, like fucking assaulted her."
Yep.
Yeah, so I just want everybody to be like fucking like again, just jump Shauna and just start beating the fuck out of her.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that like both timelines this episode, Shauna's done something where like you've wanted like the other characters to be like, "What the fuck, Shauna?" type of thing. Yeah. So,
again, it says so you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, where Thanos is just like chilling in his house, and all the Avengers pull up and just like start beating the fuck out of him.
Oh, that's funny.
I want that like in her van or just at home chilling, and everybody else just like pins her down and starts fucking beating the shit out of her.
In wrestling, sometimes there'll be like one bad guy that gets into the ring with like a bunch of good guys, and they'll all like take a turn sometimes, like punching the good guy.
I would love.
Yeah.
So yeah, the doctor tells Taissa that Van is like they don't have the means to treat her at this hospital, and that they're going to put her in hospice care. Weird timing for that because I actually just had a relative a couple days ago get put in hospice care, so really weird timing on that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Kind of a leap, because Van was fine, and we were told like her cancer went in remission, and then all of a sudden, like in this episode, she's like on near death. So I don't know what the hell happened, but I guess cancer just has a weird way of working sometimes. So,
yeah.
But I don't know. I feels like they just kind of this was a big leap because it was like episode 3, her like
that doctor at the beginning of the season, because what they say she had like a big like regression, like I don't know, like a 30% regression.
Yeah.
The doctor's like, "Oh shit, I read that wrong. It wasn't a 30% regression. It was a 30% like progression."
It's the Family Guy joke they do when like we find out that I forget the doctor had like dyslexia, and he read like Stewie's chart one. He thought he was gonna be like really short, but instead, I guess he like was gonna not be short type of thing.
But I was thinking of Good Luck Charlie, where they don't like the mom's pregnant and they didn't want to like find out the baby, so like the dad like stole like the ultrasound.
Yeah.
But he stole the wrong one, and the doctor was like, "Hey, what happened to that mom who's like gonna have triplets? Like, what happened to her ultrasound?" So like he was having triplets.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah. What a weird rule where I'm the one making a Good Luck Charlie reference.
Yeah. Well, I did the Family Guy one because that involved weed and shots and everything like that. So
Yeah. But yeah, the doctor tells like Thaisa like, all right, she's got some time. Like, I'll give you the papers for her release if you want. But Thaisa being told that like she has some time. It gives her an idea. So she ends up going to like the wing where people are dying. And then she's gonna just like smother this old guy because he's like already dying. And as Tice is about to do it, he like flatlines, and we get like a weird comedy bit where Tice is like, "Does that count? Like, is the world just gonna accept that?" And the Miss is like, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, pretty weird.
It's supposed to be funny. It's just really fucking again. It's like Tice was literally just gonna like smother this old man to death.
Yeah,
because she fucking tree god will like save Van.
Again, we have no evidence of this either. Like the only evidence they have of this is
so like I think Thais is desperate, but like this is so weird. And again, I just don't understand Thais's like mindset.
I never
remember
do.
she felt about that waiter, but as soon as she was thinking like Van's cancer might be going away, she's like, "Oh, fuck that waiter."
And again, she didn't give a shit when like her wife Simone like she was
gonna die. Yeah,
I don't get it.
And again, remember, Owen, Van and Thaisa were not dating for like 25 years.
Yeah. I don't even think
they've only started dating again in like the last week. Because remember, Van was like living at her house, but like they weren't like together. Yeah. They only just started dating in like the last week.
Yep. So, yeah, very interesting. It's just so weird how the show just took this change. And as we're talking about, I'm kind of over this like other Thaisa thing. And all that stuff.
Yeah, because then we get another scene where it's like Tice is looking at Van, and then she sees like lady who is like not really in the tree, but like was that one time. It gets less and less. It was the lady the lady who was like sometimes in the tree, the lady who was like in the tree once or twice.
I don't know how it could get any less than that. So.
Fucking, and then like the lady who was in the tree like occasionally tells Thaisa like you don't have what it takes to like save her or something, and then like real Thaisa is like banging on the door and she's like, "No, let me see her, okay, like I said, I don't really care about this lady anymore.
Yeah, we've just got nothing on it.
And like they haven't really explained her, like. It's been 3 seasons. You figure we would have some answers on, like, what the hell this is.
They did that episode, too, like, where it looked like we were going to get an explanation of the man with no eyes then, and then they just moved on from it. Nothing happened. Don't forget, they were in that restaurant where a coyote or whatever that was, like a wolf, was going to, like, smother them, and then it cut to, and then I guess they were fine, because they were, like, in town the next day. Like, nothing, like, happened.
Yeah. So. And again, like I said, a big thing is just like I just don't care about Tyson and Van anymore. Like their plots haven't been good for 2 seasons. I just don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, I'm making a prediction. This season when we do LVPs, I think Thais is going to be the one that wins it because Van is just kind of going along for the ride, and Thais is more of an LVP this season.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing is like it's not even really like Van doesn't really have a plot. She's just kind of like along for the ride. Which is another reason why I think it's like a worse Misty and Natalie. Because like Misty and Natalie had a plot line, but like it made sense why they were both there and they both had like a good dynamic.
Yeah.
Whereas again, it is like Tice's shitty plot line, and then Van is like also there.
And it kind of sucks too, because like the plot line's so good in the past, and because it's so shit in the present, it makes the past one like worse and everything like that type of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I just it's like I'm just burnt out with Tyson Van. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah. Kind of sucks with Van, too, because, like, a big reveal of season 2 was her being alive, and they've done really not much with her except her getting cancer and almost dying.
Yeah, and Thais' girlfriend who is dying, and like that's it. That's her story.
I'm making a prediction, because you said it last video. I think because Melissa's alive, she's going to take Van's place, and she'll be, like, the new main, like, 4.
Yeah, Allie died, and like Van took her spot as like the 4th main girl. And then yeah, it's probably gonna be Van's gonna die this season, and then like Backwards Cap Girl is gonna take her spot as the 4th main girl. And if we got the spot, Backwards Cap Girl probably would have died, and then we would have gotten fucking Jen.
And let's forget too, like Backwards Cap Girl wasn't even in the show at all in season 1. They added her in season 2 with the
and it's like one scene in season 2.
I don't get this at all.
Yeah.
So Thais and Van's plot's like two middle fingers of this plot. Like the fuck. Honestly, this makes me wish that Thais and Van just died in the past. That way we didn't have to see them in the present.
It's also worse too because like Misty's plot was fairly interesting, but now this episode she was just kind of like along the ride with Thaisa.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. What also helps that again, like Misty this season is basically just like discount Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, it really feels like okay, they lost Natalie's actress. So they're kind of just like making Misty the new Natalie.
Yep. You know what also sucks? Elijah Wood didn't get a lunch break this episode. That sucks.
Yeah, Elijah Wood has not been in this show. Like I was going to say this season, but like in this show, really.
Imagine getting like a big actor like Elijah Wood. And RVB, you know,
RVD, they fucking flung the Elijah, ripped them for everything they could get.
It's like they only had him in studio for like one day and they made the fucking most of it type of thing. Like
100%. Like, you know, what do you look at the screen time? Sigma actually wasn't really in the show that much. But like, my God, every scene he was in was like fucking gold.
Yeah, and then like Walter here was like the worst AI version of
yeah, he's beta and iota.
Unfortunately, yeah. So
yeah. You got fucking Frodo, and then you didn't do shit with him. I haven't even seen Lord of the Rings, and I know he's a big deal.
Yep.
Speaking of, you know, since we're on Elijah Wood kick, I guess we'll do Lord of the Rings next year.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. No, but to say we already did Red versus Blue and YellowJackets. Might as well keep the Elijah train going.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, we're also gonna have to do all the Spy Kids movies then to get to 3, where he hasn't won.
I guarantee you that 1 minute cameo that he has in Spy Kids 3 is better than anything that he does in YellowJackets.
100%. But again, I like the idea of like we're gonna watch all 3 Spy Kids just to get to that scene.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, that's it for.
I can't believe that we're gonna say that that's one Spy Kids thing when he just comes in.
Yeah, everyone talks about him the whole movie. He shows up, is a badass, dies instantly. It's so great.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, because you don't remember Spy Kids 3, so for me, it's hilarious. Fucking okay, that's it for Thais' plot. It sucks. And then going on to Shauna's plot, which is pretty good. So yeah, like I said last episode, it's pretty fucked up. Like Shauna's POV is that like they killed Hannah, her daughter like is like now like understandably upset. So Shauna's like gonna break into her house and murder her. Is like essentially what it is.
I guess she just didn't she waited till the next morning. I know you're going to talk about it, but that's kind of weird. I got the implication she would was already going
to the house when it's like nighttime. We're in like, you know, but like, nah, like daytime, really? Okay.
Why not, you know? Looks like it looks like a pretty active neighborhood, like a good neighborhood. They're obviously going to see someone they've never recognized that like go into somebody's like house. And so it's just weird.
Yeah. And she just like walks in. It'd be kind of funny if the door was locked and Shauna was like, well, shit. Roll credits.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Shauna walks in and then like she sees like kid drawings, and then like she hears voices and then she like goes to hide in the closet. By the way, like she still has like her knife ready. So again, to show up how fucked up Shauna is, Shauna saw like that there's like little kids who live here, and still decided, yeah, like, yep, I'm gonna like wait in the closet and like fucking stab this lady, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah, Shauna just like doesn't give a fuck that there's like little kids here who like, and she's like, all right, cool. Fuck it, I'll pull a Darth Vader and murder them too. The fucking again, the little kid walks up and is like, Shauna, there's too many of them. What are we going to do? And she just,
yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, you're not even at that point yet. Fucking Shauna, I killed them all, not just the men, but the women and the children too.
Dogs, no, she wouldn't kill a dog or a cat. That would be.
We'll kill a rat.
Well, the rabbit was eating her plants. You can't blame her for that.
No, I'm just,
You know,
those kids, they had shitty drawings. They had to die.
Yeah, they had to.
Shauna's an art. You know what? She was fucking an artist. So she's like, Adam's a lot better than these kids. They have to die. They have no potential.
Maybe this was Adam taking over Shauna's body, possessing it and stuff like that. And so,
you know what? Remember that? Would you go back in time and kill Hitler? Back when Hitler was still in art school. There you go.
Was he actually in art school?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Hitler got rejected from art school and then he became a politician.
Oh yeah, maybe I did remember that.
Yeah. So, Shauna was in those caves, sniffing that wilderness juice. She saw visions, that these kids are going to grow up and become the new Hitler.
Yeah.
So there you go. Stop, get them while they're young.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, anyway, Shauna hides in the closet, appropriate considering that's her ex-girlfriend here. And then as soon as she sees her ex-girlfriend, she steps out of the closet.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, there you go. Because that the joke is that like if you're in the closet, like you're gay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew that.
No, I thought it was you're in the closet, but like you're secretly gay type of thing.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, and like if you step out of the closet, that's like you coming out as gay.
Yeah.
So I was saying like Shauna saw her ex-girlfriend and stepped out of the closet. I'm like,
there you go. Yeah. And again, like you said, AJ, we wouldn't have even known this was Melissa if she wasn't wearing the hat. It's a good thing.
Yeah, because we see a woman who's presumably Hannah's daughter, and, like a little kid, and then the little kid is like, the mom is talking about like, your mom might have packed you an apple, and then we see the other mom come in. And, yep, it's a woman who we know it's Melissa because she was wearing a backwards cap. 25 years later, and she's still wearing that fucking backwards cap.
I like to think she wasn't wearing the backwards cap until today. Like today just felt right.
Yeah. Well, I would love if she's wearing like a regular cap. Shauna steps out. It's like, who are you? She. Melissa?
I would love that, yeah.
But yeah, Shauna recognizes her again because of the backwards cap. And yeah, they leave, and then backwards cap girl goes over to like the kitchen nonchalantly, grabs a knife, and then she turns around to the closet and says, "I don't know who the fuck you are, but you stepped into the wrong house. You have no idea who you're dealing with."
She got it. She got those spider senses, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how she knew, but also that's pretty dumb. So thankfully, it's just Shauna with a knife. Imagine it was just like a regular robber with like a gun. It's like, okay, cool. You have a knife. I'll just shoot you. You brought a knife to a gunfight, moron.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
I know, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, Shauna steps out of the closet, appropriate. And she's like, actually, I do know who it is, Melissa. Like, like, what the fuck are you doing alive? I think this would be a bigger reveal if they didn't just establish that Melissa was dead last episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it was, we had no mention of her. And then last episode, they were like, oh, Melissa and Jen are both dead.
Yeah, so that was weird.
I guess like when they say that, we assume they died out in the wilderness. But as we're going to find out, Backwards Cap Girl says that like when she got back, she like faked her death. Like she just wrote a suicide note. And she said like the cops just took the easy win and just wrote her off as dead.
Would that actually happen? I don't even know. Like,
I mean, I guess. I don't know. It's a little weird.
Like
you figure she's presumed dead and not like definitively dead.
I guess so, yeah. But like, I'm surprised they didn't ask that.
It's like, we went to your funeral, and it's if it was like, okay, well they never found a body, then it's like, okay, well then like I don't know why you're questioning it.
Yeah. Whatever.
Sure.
Maybe they took the. I assume the finale. We find out that like at the end of 2.5 Men, like it wasn't actually like Charlie's body like in the urn. It was like a goat or whatever. It's really that's even dumb too. But maybe they went that. That actually was really funny because it's the same fucking it's fucking Melly Lilinsky that like was a part of that plot too, and it's just now a part of this and everything like that. So it would have been funny if Rose came out.
Oh, you're right, because she's Rose. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, so it's the same actress and everything like that. So,
Yeah.
maybe it was
So yeah.
but whatever. I think I've talked about this. We talked about this in season 2, and well, in episode 2. You know what? Whatever happens from this, I'm gonna like. I thought the actress did a good job, but I do not like Melissa being alive. This just ruined the plane crash even more. It's supposed to be this drastic thing, and it seems like everyone's survived it. And Melissa, like as I've said throughout this video, wasn't even much of a character up until this season, and the fact that she lived just kind of ruined the plane crash a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, because it keeps happening. Is the thing is that like everybody's fucking alive present day. So it just like Ben's the only one and Jackie, I guess. Ben and Jackie are the only two who have like died out there that like we give a shit about.
Yeah. So
like, obviously dead meat's dead meat, and then like Javi was barely around.
I'm probably not gonna care about Lee Casco #1 if she dies in the wilderness, and I'm not gonna care
It's
about
like girl, then like I mean, okay. Like I don't hate Maury anymore, but like I don't really give that much of a shit about her.
And then Jen hasn't talked that much this season, so whatever.
Yeah. So it's like anybody who dies, like I don't really care.
Melissa probably would have been the other one I cared about, probably actually, especially if Shauna caused it. There was so much shit you could have done with it. So
yeah, that would be really interesting.
Kind of look also because this actress is pretty big. It's Hilary Swank. It kind of doesn't really look like they planned the show out. It kind of seems like they got an opportunity to work with Hilary Swank, so they took it and just made it Melissa. Like they didn't kind of shows they didn't really. I'm not saying this is what happened, but it kind of shows they don't really have a long-term plan sometimes with this show. They saw they could work again. Elijah Wood. They saw Elijah Wood they could work with, so they just.
They didn't really like have like they're not really utilizing him well.
Yeah. And then here they got Hilary Swank. Well, what do we do with Hilary Swank? We'll just make her Melissa. So it kind of shows sometimes they don't really have they said they have a plan for this show, but it doesn't show they. And you don't always have to have a plan when it comes to shows and stuff. Sometimes it's nice to not have one, but
Well, I mean, like, Paul's a pretty good example of like Akira Toriyama was pretty famous in saying that like he kind of just like goes with the flow, like he kind of just takes the story in whatever direction like he feels like it should go in.
Yeah.
Which again has like its pros and cons. Like there's definitely points where you can definitely tell he didn't plan stuff out, but like it does keep it interesting. Of like it's kind of like a roller coaster of like you're not really sure which way it's going. But yeah, at the same time, he did also plan some stuff out.
I guess obviously that they didn't plan that director stuff out and stuff. And
yeah, is like they only planned on that being like one season. So like again, there's pros and cons to like flying by the seat of your pants. We're seeing a lot of the cons now. Unfortunately, it feels like.
I definitely think YellowJackets is probably that show they should have had like. I think the best example of not having a plan was Ben's character because that came out of nowhere. But like they definitely should have had like a plan of who lived and died like season 1. Type of thing.
And again, you could change the like. I don't think you need to have every single thing planned out. But like have a little bit of a balance. You know, because it really does just feel like they had like the 4 main girls like planned out, and everything else was kind of just like.
Yeah. And then just kind of. And this is me being a Ben Mo, but it kind of sucks. Melissa gets to fucking live, who wasn't much of a character. But then we got to spend time with Ben, and he doesn't get the fucking same. He doesn't get the same luxury.
Oh yeah, Crystal died, I guess. Maybe.
She wasn't in season 1 though.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say like we were talking about people who died, and I was like, oh yeah, right, Crystal existed.
That's right.
Like I forget that. I mean, the show forgets it.
Yeah, they don't really talked about that much.
Yeah. I think she got mentioned like once this season.
Travis and Harvey's died. Travis and Harvey's dad died, and they mentioned that a few times.
Oh yeah, I guess I doesn't really count because he like died instantly.
Yeah. Hey, so they spent a lot of time on him in episode 1. That's something.
Yeah, true. That is a good point. That like his even though we really know him that well, his death did kind of like affect their relationship for a while.
Yeah. So.
But yeah. Anyway, they have knives. Melissa tries to like get them both to put the knives down, saying like, "Hey, we're both adults here. Let's like put the knives down." And Shauna's pretty just instantly giving her shit of like like you faked your death. What the fuck? And then like like you changed your name to Kelly, and like you married the daughter of like the woman we like murdered. And Melissa just says like, "Look, a lot happened in the last 25 years." And at that, Shauna's like, "Okay, fine. Look, let's just both keep our knives." Because before Shauna was like instantly hostile, and then like when Melissa said that, Shauna kind of like backed down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they get their Shauna is like, "Why have you been fucking with me?" Oh, I guess it happens a little bit. Basically, like Melissa kind of goes over what she's been doing. Some of this might be a little out of order, like the conversation, but like I'm getting the beats of it. Basically, like Hannah told Melissa where that tape was, and to like give it to her daughter. So before they left the wilderness, like Melissa went to go retrieve it and brought it back. But she felt like she couldn't give it to Hannah's daughter. Like that would like what good would that do? That would just make it worse. But but she still felt guilty, so she would like check in on Hannah's daughter like every so often, I guess. But then like one day, like by accident, like they ended up like meeting. So I guess like Melissa just kind of like kept an eye on her like from a distance, to make sure she was okay.
Yeah.
But then like I guess they met somehow. Like I don't know how that happened. She's kind of vague on it.
Yeah, the biggest thing the good that can come out of this is, like I said before, is we need to have an episode. We need to have a scene in the next couple of episodes where it actually shows Melissa and Hannah having a conversation or anything that shows that they're close. Because then it's gonna be like really weird if they never have a conversation and then she just dies. Because then I don't understand what happened. So
yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even know if even Hannah would even know how to play the fucking tape anyways. If like she got the tape because it's not like it's not like they have those things kicking around. Like Van just had that tape or whatever, like kicking around or whatever.
Probably find one. Like that's whatever.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Well, she probably didn't play it till like they got back. But yeah, Melissa says that like she met her and like she tried to not let it happen, but like she just ended up like falling in love with her. And she's like just talks about her how she's like smart and funny and kind, and like Melissa tries to say like it's not like a guilt thing or like a sympathy marriage, but then she kind of stops herself and she's like, you know what, fuck, maybe it is. And like I do like that where she's like like she tries to say it's not like a survivor's guilt thing. But she's like, you know what? I'm not even sure that's the case, but like this is real somewhat,
Yeah.
And she also says like she faked her death because like when they got back, she wasn't one of them anymore. That's kind of interesting. I wonder what she means by that.
Yeah, like do they just like completely shut her off and everything like that?
I met her and Shauna had a falling out, but she says like not one of you, like implying like she also wasn't like on good terms with like Thaisa and Van, Misty and Natalie, I guess.
That would be interesting considering what happens at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So
I am interested to see kind of like what happens with that.
Yeah.
Maybe like it's like a group decision to like kill Hannah, and like Backwards Cap Girl is like the only one against it, and she kind of like goes against the group on it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I guess I don't know. Or maybe Jen and Backwards Cap Girl are against killing Hannah, and like maybe they end up killing Jen because to get to Hannah.
Yeah.
So maybe Backwards Cap Girl feels like, oh shit, they killed somebody just to get to Hannah, and like they know I was also against killing Hannah. Maybe they'll go after me too one day or something.
And again, if to make your theory work, we need to see a conversation, a scene with Hannah
and Backwards Cap Girl. Yeah. But yeah, again, because yeah, and like as she mentions, like the tape was leverage in case any of them came after her. And then Shauna's like, "Why would we come after you?" And I like how Backwards Cap Girl was like, "Are you seriously asking that?"
I know,
And
yeah.
Shauna rise, and Backwards Cap Girl has to like spell it out for her of like, "You guys joined a cult with Lottie, and like Natalie fucking died, and like some cop died too."
Poor Kevin, you know, fucking doesn't get the love that he deserves.
I know, poor Kevin. That's like the only mention he's got in the season.
No, Jeff mentioned him. And like,
Yeah, to a character who actually gave a shit. By the way, I just remembered Mr. Mustache has not been in this fucking season. I was thinking he'd come back. No, he's just gone.
don't forget, we got 2 episodes. You said that before. I mean, Foco came back, so you never know.
Yeah, if they actually bring back Mr. Mustache, I'll be so happy.
He's in like the last episode of the season. They pull like Spy Kids 3. He just he like dies instantly.
Yeah, like Kevin, he just gets poisoned again.
Yeah.
I would love it. He just like shows up, kills all the YellowJackets, and he's like, "This is my show now."
He's in season 4, all himself.
Oh, I love it. He rips off the mustache. It's Cody.
Oh, that'll be great.
Fucking
Oh, and then he says like, because I'm pretty sure this was happened in a show once, like that actually like we thought it was a fake mustache, but then he's like that actually wasn't a fake mustache. That really hurt.
Oh yeah, Family Guy, like that episode where it's like they're all in court. He like rips off the mustache. He's like, that was actually a real mustache. It really hurt.
That'd be awesome if that happened with Mr. Mustache. What would he be then if he whips off his mustache? What do we call him then? Mr. Not Mustache?
Yeah, exactly. Mr. I don't have a mustache.
I love it.
Mr. No Stash.
Love it.
Yeah. But again, I do like how Shauna again is just like, well, before she was like calling it a cult, but then like, to like defend herself, she's like, actually, I didn't really join a cult, and it wasn't really a cult, more like a community. Again, it's like so missing the point.
I still want an explanation how a cult goes down in fucking 6 weeks. That's what I want.
Yeah, literally, like it's insane how quickly like that's just like gone.
I think we know why they had to get rid of it now, because Lottie was gonna die like a couple episodes later, so that's why they probably got rid of it. But whatever, AJ, if you join a cult, don't be worried because if the leader just goes away, the leader didn't even die and the cult went under. Like, leader just went into the hospital for like a few weeks and was gone. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'd be just fine. I'd just go right back to
society.
What I was doing, like good old Fork Girl. Just take it in stride. Just keep on going.
Yep. So,
would I tell the police that like a bunch of weird cult shit was going on? Nope. I just take my delivery job.
Damn, I wonder if Foco might be somehow the LVP of the season by that one episode.
Right, just decided to not mention anybody that like Misty killed Natalie and they were all doing all that weird shit. Like, nope, just gotta ignore that.
Yeah, so ignore it.
But yeah, Sean is hard projecting, like going into ripping into Backwards Cap Girl, saying that like your life isn't like real. Like you don't deserve to have a normal life after what happened. Clearly just talking about herself. And she's also saying like, you fucking with me with like the freezer and like the phone playing Queen of Hearts. And like, you realized that like the only way to like make sure that like your secret doesn't come out is to be the last one left.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's clearly all just like Shauna's thoughts.
Yeah.
Which is because even if Shauna's like not admitting it, that seems like that's Shauna's thought process is like, yeah, basically Shauna believes that like she needs to get rid of all the other YellowJackets to like keep her secrets.
I do like this because like it's consistent with the past because she's just
friends with Taissa.
Huh?
Which is fucked up because she's like friends with Taissa.
Yeah, really fucked up. But I do like they're keeping this consistent with Shauna in the past because during the trial she was just throwing out accusations about why Ben could have burned down the cabin when it wasn't like real accusations and everything like that type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And just further showing how cruel she is. Backwards Cap Girl's talking about how like she has a normal life and she like goes to church. She has a wonderful wife and kid. You know, she's like happy. And Shauna's like, "Wow, you're right. None of that matters to me."
It's pretty cool.
You know, she just like again, she doesn't give a fuck. And yeah, she like lets it slip that like Lottie died, and like, you know, you're probably the one who killed Lottie. And you know, backwards Cat Girl's like, "What? Lottie's dead?" Like she's like surprised by that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know, they're just kind of continuing this conversation that like backwards Cap Girl, like after the whole thing with she heard about the whole cult thing that happened, she like couldn't sleep and was having nightmares, and like she was talking to her therapist, and she believed that like the only way to like get over all this is to like to truly let the past go. So, and you know, she felt like she had to get rid of the tape, you know, that she like kept as leverage all these years. So she decided to send it to Shauna, and like hoping that you know, Shauna could like let go of the past as well.
I wonder why Shauna specifically. I wonder why Shauna specifically. You know, not like the others type of thing.
I mean, I guess because like, you know, interacted with Shauna the most, and they were like dating.
Yeah, that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, I forgot. Like, Shauna was like, "Are you still in love with me?" And backwards Cap Girl like laughed at that, and she was like, "Oh my god, no!" And like, to be honest, I never really was.
That makes sense, I guess. So,
well, yeah, because you said off camera, like, you know, I don't know if she like if that's true or not. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's probably more of like an in hindsight thing. Like back then, she probably did think she was in love with Shauna, but like now that she's had like years away from Shauna, she probably realized like she kind of like latched on to her because of like trauma.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And keep in mind, when you're, I mean, Melissa's gay, as we find out, and it's like the only other two lesbians out there were in a relationship. So she's like, well, I mean, you know, her dating pool is pretty limited.
Yeah, I wonder why she picked Shauna specifically. She didn't pick. She probably picked the worst person you could have picked because she could have picked. I mean, Misty. She could have picked anybody else, but she picked the worst option to latch onto, pretty much.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it's kind of a funny joke of like when girls go to an all-girls school, they end up like dating girls, but once they like leave that, they end up dating guys.
That's true.
It's kind of like, you know, like honestly, I'm surprised that doesn't happen more when there's like fucking 10 girls out there with like, you know, one other guy. You figure they just all be fucking each other.
Yeah.
Okay, it'd be a very different show if that was the case. But
yeah.
like, I'm just saying, realistically, I'm honestly surprised it didn't happen more.
I was gonna say something. Oh, I don't know if you'll get into it, but Melissa mentioned because we saw it in the tape that there was a note with the tape, but Callie never showed.
Yeah, we're because Shauna said like, bullshit, you're lying. Like it's like that wasn't to like help me get over it. Like that was a threat. And Melissa tries to say like, no, that was all in the note I gave you. And Sean's like, what note?
Yeah. So.
Because we saw Callie pick up the package, and then the next time we saw it, like it was just like the tape in her dresser.
Yeah, and then we saw like, we saw Callie read the note like beforehand, and then like.
Oh, because I was gonna say we didn't actually like see anything.
It was very quick because it's like when she's making the ice cream, she reads like the note, but then she hides it from like Jeff and Shauna.
Oh, I forgot that. Okay, so I guess there was a note. Okay, because I was gonna say like we don't know if like backwards Cat Girl was like lying here or not. But yeah, okay, I guess she actually did send a note.
Also, something interesting is you know, Melissa mentioned she talked to a therapist about all this stuff. I'm wondering if they'll do something with that. Well, like Shauna will tell.
I'm vague on it.
Yeah. But
it's like Lottie, where like Lottie thought she was talking to her therapist, but it was actually like a delusion.
True. We'll see if they do anything. It'd be funny if it's the same therapist that she's having like the delusion about type of thing.
But yeah, Callie gets a phone call. Well, I do like this where Melissa gets a phone call from her wife, and then like at that point, Shauna kind of starts controlling the situation. Like she tells them to sit, and she sits.
Yeah.
And she's kind of the one pressing backwards Cap Girl. And at this point, Callie calls Shauna. And then at this point, like backwards Cap Girl starts like controlling the situation. Like at one point, she like gets up and she's like, "I'm gonna get some water," and she doesn't even like bring her knife with her.
Yeah, I like that.
So like it's kind of the idea is that like as soon as like their families are brought into the situation, like the other kind of takes advantage of it.
Yeah, I like that.
Because Callie calls and Backwards Cap Girl was like, "Oh, is that your kid? Does she know what you're capable of?" And Shauna says, "Actually, yes, she does." And Backwards Cap Girl says like, "Oh, and she still loves you?" Shauna says, "Yeah." And Backwards Cap Girl is like, "Oh, who's lying now?"
Yeah, because Shauna hesitates a bit when she
Yeah.
answers. So
And then again, I do like this where Shauna, everything she was saying about Melissa, about like her normal life being fake, and like feeling like she has to be the only one left standing to like keep her secrets. That was all clearly like projection. Whereas I think what Melissa says here is all pretty spot on.
yeah,
Like I don't think she's really projecting here. I think she's just kind of hitting the nail on the head. Where she says like, Shauna, like what were you planning to do when you came here? Like kill me? You know what I think? Like I think you just like hate your normal life and you just want to watch it all burn. Like I think you're miserable and you just want everyone else around you to be just as miserable as you. Because like even before the plane crash, like you were fucking your best friend's boyfriend. Like I think you just like create your own problems to like make your life explode.
yeah, and I feel like that's very much. Say that again.
She says that she just like wants to watch it all burn.
Yeah, I think that's very much Shauna's character, pretty much. So
Yeah. Funny enough, because I think Adam said that something similar to that in season 1.
yeah, he does because that's what made, and it was very villainous, which is interesting. So
Yeah.
maybe this was
Yeah,
Adam.
and then-
Maybe I like to think Adam's ghost is just watching this conversation, just laughing about this, saying, "I called it."
And it makes sense. Adam's always around the corner.
Is Ben with him now? Since now we know he's a ghost officially.
Yeah, exactly. And still in the crutches.
Yep. Oh, the crutches died too.
Yeah. The crutches have a ghost.
Damn.
Wait, no. Adam's carrying Ben like Yoda.
That's right. I like that.
He's on.
Yep.
But yeah. Melissa puts the water on the table and she tries to take this opportunity to grab the knife, but Shauna's like too quick and like grabs her and like pins her to the ground. And Shauna, just being fucking ballistic, just for no reason, like she's already got Melissa pinned. She like bites into her arm and like rips off her flesh.
Yeah.
And then like takes the piece of flesh and is like, eat it. Kind of ties into the relationship in the past, where Shauna just like is extremely toxic and she's just trying to like bully Melissa.
Yep.
And to like do what she wants. Because she says like, you're gonna eat this, and if you don't, like I'm gonna tell your family exactly what you are. Which again is like Shauna's own insecurities.
Very much so.
Which again is bullshit because like we've had they already know so much of what Shauna's done. Like Jeff read the journals. Callie already knows you've like murdered people. It really just is like Shauna just could probably be honest with them, and if she like kind of kept them instead of keeping them in the dark is making it worse.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And we saw that this whole episode was that like Shauna keeping them in the dark and just making them like stay in that room until Shauna gets back is just like making it worse.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. Shauna was very aggressive here. This is like the most crazy and just unhinged we've seen her in the present for the most part. I think the only one that comes a close second is when she freaked out after Lottie gave Callie that necklace. We never mentioned this, by the way. Like you said, that necklace does represent death because we forgot to mention it. But Ben was still wearing the necklace when he died and everything like that. So
I forgot about that. But I will say, I think Shauna being this animalistic and brutal present day is fine. Because in the past, I think I mentioned that, like, it's always so weird whenever they do crazy shit, because, like, they are fine 95% of the time. And then, like, occasionally they'll just be fucking animals.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, in the present, like, I think this scene is more effective. That's, like, the first time we're seeing Shauna, this, like evil. Because, like, she's, like, in society. She's, like, in a setting where she can, like, more like she's not normally like this.
And
I think if they were more in the past, it'd make more sense, you know?
And we've seen like little stages of it in the present with Shauna, like when her car got
Right.
hijacked.
So I think this scene's fine. Whereas again, like I said, like that scene where they're all like dancing as they're eating Ben just kind of comes out of nowhere. Because like in the wilderness, you figure they'd be acting like that more, but instead it's like once in a blue moon.
Well, the biggest one, like you said in the past, when when the hunt happens, they're all of a sudden acting really animalistic when they didn't really want to do the hunt.
We're like not like that at all.
And
then all of a sudden, it like got dialed up to 11.
And they didn't even want to do the hunt in like the first place before that. So,
like in the present, like they kind of built up to this with Shauna, whereas in the past, it's like either 0 or 100. Like either they are completely normal or they are going fucking nuts. Like they don't really build up to it.
I will tell you a funny story though. My grandfather got into 2.5 Men recently, and it seems like every time I watch a YellowJackets episode, it's always like an episode of 2.5 Men where like Rose is like really crazy, which is really funny.
Funny, yeah. So it's kind of funny because usually like we're always like the past is better than than the present. This is like one of the only times we're like, oh shit, yeah, the past is actually kind of doing something a little bit better than the past.
You mean the present's doing something a little bit better than the past?
Yes, that's right. That's what I thought I said.
You said the past is doing something better than the past. You didn't even mix.
Usually, it's the past being better than the present. This like build up to like a brutal moment is like better in the present than the past.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, I like this little arc that Shauna and Melissa had. Obviously, ignoring the fact that Melissa, I'm kind of annoyed Melissa's alive anyways, but I thought the actress did a great job in this role. I like I like the character of Melissa, where there was one character that was able to finally have like a normal born life and is actually happy with it post plane crash. I like Shauna kind of lashing out at that, you know, like Melissa's getting to live the life that I think Shauna kind of would have liked to live and is lashing out at that. And I'm interested to see what they do with Melissa, you know, from this point going forward. I will say the reveal of Melissa was better than Van. Like, even though we got some stuff from the trailer, I feel like it wasn't like in your face in the trailer. I don't know if you ever watched the trailer of season 3, but it wasn't as much in your face like in the season 3 trailer as the season 4 trailer. And they did another good choice. It didn't have like Hilary Swank, Melissa's actress, like do a bunch of media and everything like that, like before the episode.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I give this episode like a B.
Same. I liked it. A very cautious B though, because I got to see what they do. Especially, it's the past that's cautious because we have to see what they kind of do at the end of the past and everything like that.
Well, present day, I'm just hoping Tyson. I kind of want just Van to die. I just want Van to die so we can move on from it.
Could be next episode. So.
And then I want Misty to like stop being around Taissa because Taissa's plot sucks. Like have Misty be doing her own shit.
I like Taissa to die too, actually, so we don't have to see a plot anymore. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I agree. It's so weird because I remember like in season 1 and season 2, a big criticism I had was like that the main characters were like never together.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like because Taissa's plot sucks and it's like taking over. It's like I want the main characters to be separated again.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I feel like we had a good balance, I guess. I like that this season they were together more, I guess. Like they did the road trip this season together. So
overall, I am happy that the main characters were actually like together for most of the season. I'm just saying that like I wish the plot was better for it.
Yeah, me too. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode. Yeah, 2 more episodes left, and then we're gonna do the shitty. Well, I actually might like it, so I'll say the Star Wars Christmas special, and then we're gonna end the year off. You know, this was the year of us lushing over Ben, so we're gonna do a Did Ben Win or Lose video.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna either end it with the channel update video or start it next year with the channel update video. Probably gonna be ended. Yeah. And that's pretty much it, guys, and we will talk to you guys later.